What's up, everyone? Welcome. We got some good stuff today. Welcome everyone to the Yissilmissil Productions channel. My name is Steven Yissil. And today, let's talk about it. Hope you're all doing well. Actually got a little bit to go over today. Man, oh man. Jason H says, there is no spork. There is no spork, Jason. No spork at all. So I have some interesting developments to share with all of you today. And we'll see how far we go. I think you guys are gonna want to look at everything. So, 2 weeks ago, man. So instead of responding immediately to antagonizing messages, I ended up just deciding to chill and wait. And you'll see what I'm talking about here soon. I do have a little bit of a plan for the show. I have 2 different videos. I got some screenshots here. One in particular I want to check out. All right. Okay. Man, this light's off camera a lot farther than my hand. It looks like it's just on the side there. Okay, so what would you guys like first? Because I do have a few developments and updates to share with you regarding the mysterious Hollywood. Just checking my spam. So we were talking a few months ago about someone that's been emailing me. And they did it on the same day Tom reached out to me on Instant Messenger on Facebook. It was 2 weekends ago. I woke up on September 7th, having already decided that I was not going to do a live. And Tom messages me on Facebook Messenger. Of all days where I'm just not going to do a show. And he messages. So we're going to look at the message here. Actually, if I could bring it in. We should just start off the show with that. So that's what Tom sent me. I have not opened the entire message yet. I want to ask all of you, would you like to see the entire message along with me for the first time? Now here's something I need to say. I left my door open for Tom to come back and make amends. From October of last year through April of this year, I ended up not saying a word about any of this. And then in April, I started this Let's Talk About It series. We're now on episode 16. He waited 15 episodes to even contact me directly to say this. To say this over here. I can't even point correctly. Right over there. He said this 2 weeks ago. September 7th. And you can see that it's unread. It is still unread. I'll screenshot the whole thing and bring it up on here live. Today. Now. This show. But I had gotten contacted prior to that. The same morning. So that's 10:39 a.m. That's 20 minutes before showtime here. But 7 hours before then, at 3 a.m. in the morning, I had this other rando that's been emailing me that I haven't responded to. That's saying that they also have claims that Hollywood stole the Matrix idea from them too. How many of you fuckers are out there? A dozen? There's a dozen Tom Althouses out there? Sophia Stewart, Tom Althouse, whoever the fucker was that was trying to threaten me with legal action because I had my interviews up on my channel. And then the fourth dude, who, like I said, I have not replied to. But that fourth dude replied 7 hours before Tom did on the same day. So I think that's a little suspicious as well. Lerny says definitely. He wants to see the whole message. Hell yeah. Jason, again, this is from September 7th, 2 weeks ago. So today's the 21st. Last Sunday was the 14th. The Sunday before that was the 7th. That's where this is from. The 7th. So I have my messenger open. I'm going to screenshot it. And I'm going to share it here live. And we're going to read it together for the first time. And again, for confirmation. There it is. And it's not going to want to focus. But you can see it's the same thing. September 7th. There. So let's open it. Let me get my screenshot thing ready. Here we go. I'm opening. It's actually a little shorter than I thought it was going to be. Screenshot is taken. I haven't read any of it. Just what you see on the screen here. He says one more word on the actual app. But there's like 2 or 3 sentences to what he said here. So we will show that shortly. Just gonna upload. See, I throw this onto my cloud, and then I just open it on the desktop. Boom. All right. Flaherty says, there are multiple Toms. Must be Tom District. Alt District. Alright. Here it is. See, I just took the picture of it. He says, get a life, you man, baby. You have basically no views. You live in your parents' house. You sell on eBay as your job. And you're obsessed. You were a no-show on a program we had scheduled. I can't lie. And I let you go. And suddenly it's all lies? I'm sorry I even gave you the attention you desperately sought. These are the words of Tom Althouse. There you go. This is who this guy really is. You see? This is what he is. So, 2 weeks ago, he sent this to me. Isn't that cute? So, like, no retorts, no addressing any of the questions I brought up. He is still convinced that I no-showed him. And that's the reason why he dropped everything, including the 4 books he assigned me to write. That I flew out to his house and did all this stuff for him. He doesn't want a documentary made. He doesn't want justice. He wants a traveling roadshow. The perpetual victim stuck at the climax of Act 2. Nowhere to go. He gets help to get pushed into Act 3 and the resolution. But he keeps cutting everybody out that offers to bring him there. So I'll just leave this up for a little longer. But you see this? Jason asks, are you going to respond? What am I to say? What am I to say? You guys tell me what I should say, because honestly, I think anything I say is going to fall on deaf ears at this point. Yeah, he's just attacking me personally with all of this. I want to say he at least saw one of my reels that says Tom Althouse is a liar in big font on the bottom of the vertical. You know what's funny here? His last sentence is hypocritical because he's he's giving me attention by sending me a message, right? But for him to ignore me for nearly a year because of one... And you know, I've said this before. The very first interview I did with him, he left me hanging for an hour. I broke everything. I literally did break everything down. What he was saying back in October, that he had to break everything. He doesn't have any setup that he breaks down. We're going to look at this real quick. This is my YouTube. So you see we got all these shorts here, right? Look at these views. Look at the view count on the right column. Yeah, one of them is 13. So YouTube just randomly sends this to people. So some of them they don't like get traction, others they do. But the one they really liked, where is it? Make a documentary. This 29-second one got nearly 2,000 views. Or 1,400 views. I thought that was 1,800. But how can he say that there's... You basically have no views, Steve. Why would he even say that? Is he aware that he's going on channels that are 10 times less of a subscriber base than I am? He's going on 200 subscriber channels. Veronica's is not even 900 subscribers. Goes on a show with half the subscribers I have. He has no channel of his own, but he goes on somebody's channel that's half of what mine is, and then he goes and thinks it's cool to make fun of people's appearances instead of arguing his case, which you know he's uncomfortable doing because he's walked out of his own deposition and we have it on audio. Lerny, I really don't feel like responding. As of right now, he can't even see if I looked at this message or not, because I have to accept it. Like, I'm not going to open up that chain of conversation. Like, why would I do that at this point? He clearly does not want to have a conversation. He just wants to insult. Like I've been saying this whole time, doing this Let's Talk About It series. All he does is mock. All he does is insult. Talks about how his shit doesn't stink. About how he has humility. But then he goes and sends this shit? I'll tell you right now, Tom, your whole thing here, like trying to break me down, that's, it reminds me of somebody in their early 20s that used to say the same thing to me. They've apologized now, by the way. 7 years of no contact. And they finally emailed me saying that they're sorry, that they were in the wrong. Is that how long it's going to take Tom here? Yeah, Lerny says, fair enough. I think exposing does more than having a fruitless back and forth. Well, like, I don't give him anything then, and then he can't... Like, what he would like to do, I'm sure, based off of these other fucks that have contacted me, he would like for me to respond so that he could take me to court and sue me over my response to him. Because that's the shithole that he is. Alright, we'll move on from this very shortly. But this was the big happening. Yeah, this is confirmation. I do have, well, if you count Althouse and Sophia Stewart, there's 4 people claiming the Matrix in some form, besides Warner Brothers and the Wachowskis. Got Tom Althouse, you got Sophia Stewart, you got Peter Tascati or whatever the fuck his name is, that did that documentary / reenactment of Tom's life, which is on IMDb, and it's never going to be released because they had a falling out too. You see the pattern here? You see the pattern of the falling outs? It's all based on Tom. Tom is the one doing the fallouts here. Then there was this other dude who's been trying to email me. Look, man, I don't know what you're expecting out of me, but I'm not going to bring you on my show. And that's for all of you fucks that are claiming that you wrote The Matrix at this point. This dude right here fucking ruined it for all the rest of you that are trying to grift off of this as well. You got it? I know you're watching all of these. And you're probably going to watch this one. And you're wondering why I'm not emailing you. I'm just not engaging with any of you fucks anymore. You got it? I'm not engaging. But I am exposing. I'm exposing this motherfucker right here. So if you guys have anything else you want to expose on him, send it my way. But don't be messaging me asking to be on my platform after what this motherfucker did. Okay? 2.5 years of hosting this guy on my channel, this is his response. Okay? This is what he's thought this whole time. He didn't think highly of me. He just saw me as a way to get his grift out there and going. Okay? And this is going to take quite a long time to get to the exposure rate that I want this to be at. But just rest assured, all of my content is on the internet, and it is not in any way going to be taken off the internet. Because of how many places they're at. How many places I've uploaded, and then on top of that, my own website, which, you know what, fuckheads? Go ahead, try to do something. You're not going to, because you're pussies. Talk about websites getting hacked. You know, Althouse, I think, had other people helping him with his website, and then he had a falling out with them, and that's why his website, the Red Pill, whatever the fuck, Red Pill Rising, that's why that website went down, because he had a falling out with the web designer that was doing that website for him. So that's why I say it's just a matter of time until Jen decides enough's enough. I mean, she's already spent 1.5 years on this. She must be asking some questions like, "What? Are you getting legal counsel, Tom? It's been a little over 18 months I've been helping you, Tom. Are you gonna do something?" No, he's not gonna do shit for you, Jen. He wants people around him that are yes men, that will not challenge a single thing that he spews out of his gingivitis-ridden mouth. And that's me making a joke. Alright? Guy cares so much about his appearance. He claims he's not a narcissist, but we've clearly shown that he is one here. He dyes his hair. He's always wet. Like, why is he wet when he's on camera? When I was visiting him last year, he was talking about whitening his teeth for the other interviews he'll be doing. The fuck you telling me that? Why the fuck you telling me that, Tom? Like, you clearly love talking to women and they tell you how to update your appearance and be more presentable, but then you come to me to ask for my, like, confirmation and reassurance. Get the fuck out of here, man. You should know by now, being in your 60s, that you know a thing or two about taking care of yourself. Oh. Alright, let's open the display capture again. So I have some... Oh, hold on. Just give me a moment. This isn't gonna work, is it? I need to make it bigger. Alright. We're going to look at his tweets. Because you clearly saw he was trying to tell me that I have no reach, I have no views. Look at this motherfucker. And this is out of order. I need to go back. So here, I'm just showing here. This is his return post from the conference back in July. This is the one where he doesn't thank anybody except Brian Singh, who used to be on Brenda's channel with Beyond the Box. You know, Penny L.A. Shepherd and Brian Singh, they're still doing work together with Tom. It's because they're all part of that whole grifting circle. But I want to point out here, he has several thousand followers, right? And he's supposed to be like getting all this traffic from around the world on his website, so he claims. Why is there only 5 hearts, 1 bookmark? That 1 bookmark could be him. And there's 1 comment. The 1 comment is him. Right here. I'm gonna zoom this in. So he kept replying to his own post. So after he made a second comment, then he went on that comment, made another one. You get that? Right? No like, no like. 1 like, 2 likes, 3 likes. So I'll just read this out verbatim. He said it was a smash hit. Brian was a master captain and made every speaker feel relaxed and completely taken care of. I look forward to honoring his request to return again. Of course I will. I was able to do my presentation fully prepared and equipped and through the length of the conference. It was such a life-changing experience for me. As my son's video rolled at the end of my talk, I burst into tears, and so did members of the audience. Which, by the way, I don't know why he continues to use his teenage son's edited video of him. He has all of this talent around him to put together other videos. But maybe because it's sentimental, you know. He likes that his living son has done that for him. When I walked off stage and went directly to my table I had been provided to display my cards and evidence on, my dear friend told me, "Tom, turn around. There's a line behind you." People were getting it, and at dinners and walking through the halls, even on the beach, people kept coming up and embracing and making clear they had gotten it, including my client. This sounds like he died and went to heaven, right? Everyone's like, "Ah, yeah, we believe you." My evidence and our shared story. And I lost count of the interviews that were done where hosts put me on their shows. You see, this is his complete write-off of, like, not giving credit to anybody who platformed him. Each day to relay the story of the real writer of The Matrix. Again, lie. And the what's, why's, how's, and when's. What I feel is great gratitude and awe to God, and yeah, which God, by the way. And the highlight was being told by Sean Bond that I was in the family now. Oh, you joined a cult. Congratulations, Tom. Let's see, do I got anything else here? Oh, yeah. So there was a video I wanted to watch, but it pertains to this channel. Now, can't really see it too good here, so I'll make this a little bit bigger. So in the words of Vince McMahon, Tom Althouse thinks these numbers are good shit, pal. This is what I'm talking about. He's going on channels that are 10 times less the following than mine. And he's saying that mine has no views. But if you look at all my interviews with Tom, they're all above this number. And I thought this was an interesting comment down here. Strange interview was mostly about him and Musk. I was most interested in the technology behind Neuralink. But maybe it's a scam like NASA. It's just a big money launderer to finance the activities of the legal mafia. That commenter was so close. He's like, they had it. They had it. He said, I was most interested in the technology behind Neuralink, but maybe it's a scam? Yes, you are correct. In more ways than you imagine, sir. The scam is Tom saying that he created Neuralink. You see? So just based on this number, 214 subs, 3 comments, 217 views. And then, of course, these ones where it's like 5 likes. Come on, man. But this is what... Oh, he thinks he got me here. That'll get him. That'll keep him up in it. No. If anything, what I'm posting here is keeping Tom up at night. And it's unintentional. It's just the way it is. So I don't know, do we watch this? I guess we'll watch it, right? It's an hour long. I'll put it on the 1.5 speed. Alright, if you're all ready, I will begin. Oh, I should probably show... So, like, we were looking at this already. It's from, like, a month ago, so... Oh, it was from July 16th. So this might be one of the ones that he did while he was on the conference thing. Alright, let's just start it. This shit's gonna get me demonetized here. What the fuck? Oh no, he's at his house. There.
Okay, hello, welcome everyone to a new episode of Unveil, and today we're going back to the beginnings. Many of you don't know this, but like I said in the first episode that I showed on YouTube, I entered into an area that is deep in the rabbit hole, and I haven't really gone to the details yet, and now is the time. There has been an opening that we're going to enter today, and we're going to touch on especially two subjects, two main things. Adrenochrome and Neuralink. And if you don't know anything about any of these subjects, don't worry, because I have a guest with us today and he's going to talk you through everything. We are going to go through a different channel, like a movie that we all have heard of and that we all know as The Matrix. And the reason why this is a movie we're going to enter today is because of three main reasons. First of all, the name of the movie is not the original name. The person who takes credit for the movie, the people who are taking credit for the movie are not the script writers. There's someone else behind the scenes. And, of course, most important, the message of the movie has been distorted beyond recognition and taken away the things that really were supposed to come through this movie. To get all these pieces together today, we're going to welcome the actual writer of the screenplay, Mr. Tom Althouse. Welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm glad to be here.
You see that? You see that? Author of The Matrix. Liar. You are not the author of The Matrix. No Matrix, no Neo, no Trinity, no Morpheus, no Agent Smith.
This is such a moment to be able to speak to people in Sweden too and bring this forward, as this has actually been shut down worldwide. And I want to show this right at the start. This is, let me unblur.
Yeah, let's do.
Here's the next slide.
So, there we go. So I'm going to reset this to not blur my background so you can see this. So this is the original copyrighted screenplay. It's the only one in existence.
Yeah. Is that from 1993?
This is the 1993 version, and it's the 1998 entry, and this is the one that was used on set in 1999. You'll see the 1998 stamp from the Copyright Office.
So here he's changed his story already. He's now claiming this 1998 copyright script is the 93 script. But with what pages missing? I can't fucking follow him anymore.
And there is no working drafts for Matrix by Warner Brothers. Their attorneys have said this, and it's recorded them saying that. So this is the actual work. And what's interesting is they took that PAU number on there will allow anyone to look up in the Copyright Office exactly this work. So it's not a forgery.
We can see it here, yeah.
When the signatories make it clear, this is not a forgery like the other side would try to say. And in it...
yeah, the request for copies... Hold on.
We can see it here, yeah.
When the signatories make it clear, this is not a forgery like the other side would try to say.
Yeah. The request for copies is not a forgery. But you saying that The Matrix is your script... That is forgery, sir. It's fraud. It's fraud what you're doing. He'd never be able to sit in the same room with me anymore at this point. Oh, I can't be questioned. Fuck off, man.
And in it, you'll find everything like Jack's the Neck, the train station scene, the red pill, blue pill, little girl pointing the sun, the squiddies, everything's there, the underground. So that's what they got. They have me.
Yet he hasn't shown those matchups on screen. Where are the squiddies? He has the little girl thing, but like, he didn't show the entire end. He didn't do anything. You saw what I was doing when he was on this channel. I was doing the heavy lifting, finding the Matrix clips and putting them to whatever he the fuck was saying. He's not given enough to have people going. Where's your evidence? We're done here. I'm done talking with you people. What? This is a deposition, sir. You can't leave. Oh no, I've hit my allotted time. I'm out of here. I have other things to do. Sound familiar?
Fully, and they wanted to appropriate it to switch everything around, to basically enslave our society in the future.
Exactly.
And take God out of it. They stripped God from it.
And I'm thinking for the people who are awake, they will know these subjects we're talking about. And I think for someone who's a Christian, maybe they should know something we're talking about. If they haven't heard of Neuralink by now, like we told in the Bible, the mark of the beast, and they don't see the connection, then they're heavily asleep. And if they are, we're going to wake them up today, because these things are so intertwined, right? And this is some of the message you're going through, and this is some of the things that...
So, I also want to say this. I have a sneaking suspicion that whenever he gets contacted by other YouTubers that are in other countries, he goes on to these other shows and brags that, oh, yes, I'm about to go do an interview in such and such country. Like, he's not going over there. He's sitting in this fucking room doing all of these live streams to those people in other countries. He's not flying out there. He gave the impression he was flying out to the other side of the world on one of these other interviews we were watching. Like, oh, I got invited to do a show in insert name here. Jason, I don't know what he's claiming at this point. He's just straight up claiming that he wrote the Matrix script. He's straight up just saying, no, that Matrix, what they shot with, it's mine. And there's no documented evidence, but there's like... What's the term for it? What's the term for it? It's like anecdotal evidence. It's something else. But that's like taking bits and pieces of things and trying to like add it to your theory, and it's not backed up by anything. Like, this dude is flaunting this script around, but he hasn't explained exactly where the matchups are at. And if they are, it's like, oh, it's like one sentence here lifted and put into a completely different scene in the Wachowski script. Like, you can't fucking do that. You can't say that that's theft. I'm not defending them, but like, you have to have like multiple pages where it's like, these people committed fraud. These people abused the copyright process. There should be more than 2 or 3 pages full out of his 90-plus page script that matches up with the Wachowskis' Matrix films. But they don't. That's why he's not showing them. There's no scene of Trinity running on the buildings and escaping the Matrix and going to the phone booth, being chased by the agents and getting nearly hit by a garbage truck. None of that's in his script. As of right now, we're under the impression Tom is not a talented writer. He was used as a vessel by some demonic entity to go and write his Immortals script. And then he has circumstantial evidence that, like, all of this was stolen from him. But no hard evidence. He'd be showing all of the court documents. He'd be having us listen to clips on air. He'd be showing side-by-sides of his script to the Matrix script. He's not doing it. These are essential things that would be brought up in a court case. But he just wants to go on here for an hour and be like, oh yeah, you see, I really wrote it. And I got the message from God, but you know, I can't write anything else. I have 17 other scripts, they're buried, so that my last son won't die. Like, what the fuck, dude? You'd think if he was... like, if he had a mind of an entrepreneur, and he was as talented and creative as he claims he is, he would be going around to the different studios, or find an independent studio, And if he wants to be a lifetime screenwriter, isn't part of screenwriting selling your fucking scripts? It's like being a painter and never selling any of your artwork. Oh no, it's personal to me. Then you're not a fucking screenwriter, man. Was he a member of the Screenwriters Guild at the time that he wrote all of this? No one knows. No one's asked him. The answer's probably no. What was he doing in the 90s that was protecting his intellectual work? Nothing. 99 rolls around, he goes to the movie theater and watches The Matrix. Then walks out of it. Oh, it's too violent. I can't watch it all. No significant ties to his script. He says it in the deposition. And then he goes and turns around and does a 180 on here and be like, oh no, they threw my case. I got assigned to lawyers that were working for Warner Brothers. They threw the whole thing. Oh my God. I didn't want to sue. He says all this stuff. He says all of it. I don't want to sue. They thrust the attorneys upon me. Like, what the fuck, dude? Who was influencing you in your decisions at the time where you decided to go against these people? What was it, 2001 or something? Early 2000s, this fuckhead went and sued Warner Brothers, claiming they stole Demolition Man. He doesn't even talk about Demolition Man anymore. He lost that case. He waited right until the 7-year mark to go file for them. He lost. And then in 2011, 2014, whatever the fuck, he sued Warner Brothers, and I'm sure they countersued him by 2014. That's where I'm at on all this. Based on all the evidence that we've gone over here so far. So tell me. You tell me. Jason said, or helped usher it in. Yeah, the mark of the beast thing. I don't know. He's saying God, but he's not saying Heavenly Father Creator. He's not talking about Jesus Christ, the Son of God, especially around Roseanne, right? I'm surprised he didn't walk in with a yarmulke on. Hey, fellow Jews. Hey, I wrote The Matrix. Yeah. Is that wild?
It's very disturbing how they twisted it around. It makes me sick to my stomach. So we're going to go through that. And the things you showed us now, we're going to see clearly from some of the scenes you're going to show us, right?
Absolutely. And people may note the fall of Elon Musk is very much attached to this whole thing. Elon Musk was put in place to take credit of this tech that is in the screenplay. The tech was given by God through this particular author here, so to be safeguarded. It's like a Pandora's box. So Neuralink was given through me for the purposes of the story that would give glory to God. It was not to be implemented.
What an odd thing to say. Through this author here. Like, he's talking in the third person. The Rock says. The Alt says. It doesn't matter what you think. I wrote The Matrix. Give me money. Give me $3,700 a month. For what? I don't know, but just give me money. He has a GoFundMe out there. For what? It's not to pay for legal counsel. In the 2.5 years I was helping him, not a single lawyer. Not a single lawyer.
Elon Musk was put in place to take credit of this tech that is in the screenplay. The tech was given by God through this particular author here, so to be safeguarded. It's like a Pandora's box. So Neuralink was given through me for the purposes of the story that would give glory to God. It was not to be implemented to have control of the population. In the original Matrix story,
Oh, is that why you didn't patent your invention, Tom? Because that's what you're claiming, right? You're claiming you invented Neuralink, but you didn't file a patent? You want to say the poor man's patent of mailing your script to yourself is enough to suffice? Are you telling me that the lawyer that you were assigned by the state of Hawaii ended up being bedfellows with Warner Brothers, and you didn't know until after the fact, and you gave them your poor man's copy to rip open, which negates the patent, because it needs to be sealed. It needs to remain sealed. And the only time you open that is when you're in court to prove a point. Here is the sealed envelope with the date such and such, and now we are opening it to see what's inside. Oh, look, it's Tom's script. Okay, that is legal documented proof that he mailed it to himself. That's what that's for. That's not so you give it to your assigned lawyer to open himself. He talks about being one of the smartest men in the world. The more we go on, it seems like that's not the case.
And everything allow control of the population. And so what they did was they wanted to actually find an engineer who had failed and give it to him, that he would control it for them, and then he would do whatever they bid him to do. The cabal in our country and the world, the Warner Brothers, the agencies, would then have him do their bidding by being close to the president. Thank goodness he has fallen from power by revealing himself, and now I am able to step in and reclaim this tech and work that is in the process. But I'm happy to show you some of the proofs of the original work.
Have you heard anything about this? Someone who was working with them when he was a kid, I think she was his babysitter or something. She was really, really creeped out, and she had asked his mother, is he the Antichrist? And she had said, no, but he's going to present to you the mark of the beast. Have you heard this?
That's yes, I have, and it's exactly true. That's exactly what has happened. I was tapped by the religious right to be the, quote, face of the Christian coalition, to be the enticement, the draw, that face that would draw people in to follow the harbingers of an Antichrist.
All right. Just give me a moment here. All right. Back it up 10 seconds. I meant to take the background down sooner. It helps with the file size of the whole stream. Unfortunately. Lerny says, and that's the difference between a profession and a hobby. Yeah, Lerny's talking about the screenwriting thing I was talking about earlier. Jason H says, it's alt truth. He's a messiah now? Yeah, that's what he's been saying, that he had God speak through him, and that's how the script came to be. Now, you notice he never talks about the other 17 scripts he wrote. Did he have the same experience with that? He never explains it. He says that his submission of the script to these studio execs, it's not a physical exchange here. He was on the phone with them. And he believes that they recorded the phone call, and then now they've used this idea from his story for the past 30 plus years. Oh, and they broke in his house earlier this year to return older scripts that were taken from the second court case. No evidence of a break-in. You know, no security cameras, no broken doors. You know, CIA, FBI level shit, right? He's like thanking the CIA in these other interviews. Thank you for those that turned and helped and brought the script to my house. I'm having a very hard time believing that they dropped anything off at his house. Especially while he's gone. Telling me nobody else in the neighborhood on the block witnessed any of this? Hey, Tom, there was some weird person that came up to your house, walked in, walked out. Did you have someone babysitting the cats while you were gone? Like, nothing like that. It's very questionable. All right, let's continue through this.
Have you heard this?
That's I have, and it's exactly true. That's exactly what has happened. I was tapped by the religious right to be the, quote, face of the Christian coalition, to be the enticement, the draw, that face that would draw people in to follow the harbingers of an antichrist. It's really what it was. It's very dark. The religious right is very dark. It's like I call it the religious Reich. They have a very dark plan attached to the cabal. So I was being, because of the eyes and dimples and such at the time, I was to be that face. Now, Elon Musk was brought in because he has that darkness. He was brought in to replace me and take what God gave through me and then claim it and profit off of that. That's why he's around sleeping with all these different women and wanting power. That's not what I was groomed to be. God groomed me to be faithful in safeguarding the implementation of the device so that it would not...
No, but he has a bunch of handlers that come around and tell him that he's going to have starlets and be on yachts and talk to world dignitaries, and that's exactly what he wants. And he'll step on anyone's heads to get ahead.
Slave everyone. If you want to see something that is the mark of the beast, that would block even the ability, put inhibitors in place to allow us even to sense our connection and faith, it would be the Neuralink. It would control cerebral functions and cognitive functions, and would also block our ability to have that connection, like cutting our phone line off to God.
Yeah, exactly. I'm so glad you brought this up already. Could you fill us in a little bit about this grooming process? Because in the elite, there's two kinds, right? You are either you're born into the elite from the beginning and you have the right bloodlines, or you're being groomed, which is, for you who don't know, this is just a fancy way of saying trying to get people to sell out for money and power and things.
And yeah, I had the exact bloodlines they were looking for. They made that extremely clear during the approachment to me. And those bloodlines...
You had a choice, right?
I'm from Swiss royalty and the Traco line. And
wow.
I was also at the Battle of Hastings in 1066. My ancestor was knighted by William the Conqueror. He was the Frampton. And so I'm from like the Burgundy house. I'm also from the House of David. I'm also from Swiss royalty. I don't say that bragging. I'm saying that
no. This
matches.
Is fact, right?
It matches the perimeters are looking for. They are looking for an elite.
No, anytime that shit's mentioned, it is bragging. Because why else would you even mention it? He loves when people go, ooh, wow, whoa. When I was posting my certain clips of my reactions, my wow reactions to what he was sharing, he's like, that's such a great reaction. I love it, Steve. I love it. It's getting so many views. Now he's saying I got no views, huh? Well, we'll see about that. I sent Susie and a few others that initial, like the beginning of the message that he sent that I didn't open. And I said, I posted 30 reels so far from, episode 13? And just because he sent that message to me, there's going to be at least 30 more. Just from that episode. And I wouldn't be surprised if I have 100 more. Fuck it. I don't care anymore. You've created a bigger problem for yourself, Tom, than you could have ever imagined. And all you had to do was have a little bit of humility. Not this nose up in the air bullshit of, oh my god, I had to wait 5 minutes for Steve. I was here waiting for you too. We were both sitting here wondering where the other was at. Isn't that funny? But no, everything has to be perfect with this dude. Fucking priss.
Group, they call it, elite.
Exactly.
And if you fall into that, then they will utilize you into their plans. If you just say no to what they offer, they find it very insulting, and you become a problem rather than an asset at that point.
What was it about you, except for the bloodline, that you were in the right bloodline? What was it that they wanted from you? What did you have to offer to make them want to put you in a high position? What did you have?
I had the creativity that they didn't, like the genius. They tested me as a genius. That even the CIA had wanted me, and this isn't to brag, but the CIA had wanted me to be in their intelligence department, and I had been approached by that. IBM had approached me, recruiters from IBM. Different places such as that, the religious right wanted me to do it. So I'll be with them. So what you have is basically in our country, in the United States, the educational system allows for, and they encourage us to spot talents among their population as if they are individual assets for that state. And it's very totalitarian. And so what you have is we are marked at a young age if we stand out, if you would say, stand out from the rest, and then their
He never talks about what happened to him during his stint with Pat Robertson. You notice that? He's hinted at being sexually assaulted and all that, but you know, get into the details already, asshole.
Plans are designed around us at that time and the abilities we have. So anyway, the grooming process you're talking about is very important to understand. When you see what actually happens in this process, take Elon Musk. Elon Musk had failed as an engineer. He was actually, they paint him in his documentaries as had been a quiet, gentle boy who had genius. He wasn't.
You know, just the way that he's responded to everything that's gone on. I mean, look at this again. Look at this. What's he doing here? He's seeking attention. That's what he's doing. You know, for a narcissist, I'm shocked that he doesn't have his own channel. He's a leech, though. He grifts. He loves being on other people's channel. He doesn't want his own, though. I tell him to do TomAlthouse.com. He's like, oh, no, that's too conceited. Now he has it. After he cut me off, he has it now. And he loves talking about how everybody said he was a genius. But he's not genius enough to win this court case, is he?
He was a bully when he grew up in school. He was bullied, and that's why they would want him too.
Hey, Andreas, good to see you here.
Replacing me, who was gentle, but you imitate the party you're taking from. So he said things like in his documentary, he has his own voice saying, "I felt outside the others. I couldn't turn off the genius." That is not true. He didn't have it.
He doesn't have anything to prove it. No.
That's right. If you do have the genius, that's going to show all over you, and your life purpose will be to try to basically silence the voices of the invention and everything, always bombarding you. It's almost like something's turned on. That's what he said when he means he couldn't turn it off. I couldn't turn it off. Creativity just flew at me. I had to create creative product. I had to put it to a point where it meant something to lift our world. Otherwise, it would drive me nuts. So what I did was I purposed myself that direction. And I have notebooks and shelves full of invention, ideas, and works, many that have not been revealed yet. Elon Musk.
No, he doesn't have any of that shit. It's all in boxes in his house, if anything. And he talks about like how he's like this major inventor. Dude, there's fucking nothing in his house. Look at that room he's in. Not a single picture on the wall. It's his guest room. You'd think he'd have something else in there. Now, there might be some Goodwill painting that's up in the corner or some shit. I forget at this point. It's been well over a year and a half now. But that's the room that I stayed in. Was this room he's sitting in now. On the left side of this video frame, that's where the bed is. Actually, you can see it right there. See the end of it. Now, why he moved his setup into this room, I don't know. Maybe he put more stuff in the other room and he doesn't want people to see it. But it's neither here nor there. Not important for the expose that's currently going on.
Purpose myself that direction. And I have notebooks and shelves full of invention, ideas, and works, many that have not been revealed yet. Elon Musk doesn't.
No.
He's the person that will take whatever he can get.
Yeah.
A genius, really, by and large, will want to see how he can use his gifts or her gifts to that world. Because we're not thinking about the desire Elon has, which is to sleep with as many women as possible, or men in the case of a woman. We are really beyond that. We're at a different level. We want to actually make a difference in our world, make a better world, and actually make a world where we fit. And so yeah, you know what I'm talking about. So I want to show you something too.
What does that world look like, Tom? Am I not in it? You want to pretend I don't exist, but then you... it just blows my mind. It took him 11 months to even reach out to me. Keep that in mind. 11 months. If you want to be completely accurate, 10.2 months. Or 10.3. Whatever.
I hope I answered the question, though, but yeah. I'm going to hold it up to you. Watch. I'm going to do like this.
Yeah. Okay, great.
Here. Now, what I'm going to show you right now is a grooming process. Elon Musk was a nobody. He had failed at everything he'd done. He was a failed engineer. And what happened was...
Why does Tom not give any of these hosts a media package to display on the show? He has these video files that he could be sending to all these hosts, but no, he'd rather put it on his little fucking tablet laptop thing and have glare on it and everything.
Warner Brothers and the cabal and the agency stepped in and said, "You're the perfect candidate for the Neuralink." Now, keep in mind, there are two siblings, the Wachowski sisters. They were brothers. They were the perfect candidate. No doubt. I'm going to hold it up to you. Watch. I'm going to go like this.
Yeah. Okay, great.
Here. Now, what I'm going to show you right now is a grooming process. Elon Musk was a nobody. He had failed at everything he'd done. He was a failed engineer. And what happened was,
just to put a little timeline thing on this. Oh my god. Because he's lying here again. Elon Musk was a nobody up until Iron Man 2. Is that correct? No. In 1995, he co-founded the software company Zip2. We'll look at this real quick. I don't like using Wiki, but we'll do that here. He co-founded Zip2 in 95. They sold it in 99. And then he founded X.com and let it sit. And that was eventually merged into PayPal, which was acquired by eBay in 2002. All of this happened before the Iron Man franchise, dude. The first Iron Man came out in 07. In 2002, he founded SpaceX. It's actually a lot earlier than I thought. And then in 2004, he became an early investor for Tesla. And then became its CEO and product architect in 2008. And then, of course, 2010, Iron Man 2. It says it right there. Jason H. is asking what year for PayPal. Let's see again. In 99. But let's see here. But see, he bought it. Yeah, Peter Thiel. Look at that. The guy that's in charge of Palantir right now, right? In March 2000, Confinity merged with X.com, an online financial services company founded in March 1999 by Elon Musk. That was for money transfer. And then Elon Musk was replaced by Peter Thiel as CEO of X.com, which was renamed PayPal in June 2001. Went public in 2002. So by the release of Iron Man 2, PayPal had over 100 million active user accounts. Yeah, that's failure, right? According to Tom Althouse, this is failure. Although Elon Musk wasn't involved in the company anymore. All right. We have to point out the inaccuracies as we go. It's the best way to do this. I'll back it up a little bit.
Is a grooming process. Elon Musk was a nobody. He had failed at everything he'd done. He was a failed engineer.
After what I just showed you, do you think that Elon Musk is a failed engineer? Honestly, I don't think so. He got into investing. That's really how he, Well, on top of that, his parents... Just look at his fucking parent. Look at his mom. Dressing up in all of the satanic clothing and everything. Jason H. says... His name is an anagram for the reptile. Peter Thiel equals the reptile. Wow. Yeah, Palantir, not a good thing. Don't know why it's being pushed.
And what happened was Warner Brothers and the Cabal and the agency stepped in and said, you're the candidate for the Neuralink. Now keep in mind, there are two siblings, the Wachowski sisters. Now, they were brothers, and they were supposed to be women. They said, when they were given the green light to take my work, they too had failed at everything. Writing, college, painting, business, all that stuff. They were told by Dino Laurentiis, a exec from Warner Brothers, who claims my title, my copyright. He took and wined and dined them at a dinner and promised them beautiful women, fortune, and fame. What they were doing is bringing failed people to be in-house to claim the work. That's what they did with Elon Musk, bringing a failed engineer to claim the work. Engineers don't usually come up with the tech. Engineers are called upon to implement the tech. They don't design or come up with it. It's like a distribution or a lending firm in Hollywood saying they created a creative product. They don't. They lend. That's their area of expertise, not writing.
Just want to fill that in there because this is also so important because the elite...
The creative product. They don't design or come up with it. It's like a distribution or a lending firm in Hollywood saying they created a creative product. They don't. They lend. That's their area of expertise, not writing.
Just want to fill that in there because this is also so important because the elite, they're depending on people like you, people who create stuff, but only to steal it to get the credit for it. But the people they are showing off, they're just, like you said, they're just faces, they're just puppets. The whole world really is a stage and there are actors in every level, not just in Hollywood, not just on the screen, but also behind the scenes. And all these people are just picked from some position if they are willing to pay the price for the fame they want to give them, right?
That is it.
And they steal from someone else and just quiets them down in some way.
They talk about the lion and the zebra, absolutely right, very astute. They talk about the lion and the zebra. If I do not want to feed off of others and take advantage and selfishly want gain and take the rewards, then I am considered weak. I'm considered a zebra. And therefore, they're going to consume me and my product and claim it goes under the laws of nature. That the lion...
Jay, did the studios consume you, Tom? Don't let this consume you. I wouldn't want that, right?
Lion consumes the zebra, so all your work is theirs. They talk about this a lot. So I was told I was too nice and I cared too much, therefore I would never be accepted, but my work would be taken and given to those that would do the bidding of the candidate, as you described. Now watch this. So in 2010, I believe it is, after the Wachowskis were given my work to steal and failed at everything, they announced they wanted to do Jackson in the Neck for real. That's Neuralink. That's also my piece. Jackson Neck for real. So they're taking this work and they're going to take the tech out of it.
Ghost in the Shell is in '88, dude.
But Warner Brothers did not offer it to the Wachowskis. They offered the story, to steal the story. You have your components you're assigned to take. They tell who's going to have it, and they have candidates. Now, in the candidate process for the screenplay, Tom Hanks was involved. They put a copyright saying Tom Hanks ordered and commissioned to write The Immortals. Isn't that something? It's like he was going to be just like the Wachowskis were.
And nobody can get a copy of that because you need written permission from the author. So everything Tom had been saying about, oh, anybody can go to the copyright office and get a copy of this script, that's not true. Tom Althouse is a liar.
Being candidates to the work. They scraped, fussed, and finally were given it. When they got the writing given to them to steal, they got greedy and said on the air, we want to do Jackson Neck for real. What they're saying is, we want the credit for the tech also. It's worth a fortune. Warner Brothers slapped them back. They never said it again. And then they started grooming their actual candidate. Now watch this. This is from Warner Brothers. This is Warner Brothers, Iron Man 2, Warner Brothers Connected, where they're going to now first groom Elon Musk. Watch this.
You know, a little bit.
It can be. Great, make it us. Okay, Mr. Musk. How are you?
Replaces the promotion.
Thank you very much.
You thank you. This Merlin is fantastic. Thank you. Yeah, good idea for electric jet. You do. Yeah. Then we'll make it work.
What you just witnessed was Elon Musk being groomed by Warner Brothers and the agencies and the cabal to steal the Neuralink, to steal the tech from the original author.
Now, dude, I'm going to say this straight up. This was something that Marvel Studios did as an Easter egg for X-Men. They were trying to set up Elon Musk as the designer for the electric jet. Okay? Tom's not going to like to hear that. Give me a second here. This is the electric jet that they're talking about in that movie. Okay? It's the X-Men jet. The X-jet. That's all it was, Tom. It was an electric jet Easter egg for an X-Men reference in an Iron Man movie. All right.
Which God had channeled through to take control of it, the mark of the beast. The grooming process. Now let's look at the shaming process.
Yeah.
Again, Warner Brothers, Young Sheldon, popular series. Years later, we have this. Now watch what's happening here. I think people will catch on to this. What is occurring? I'm going to pop this up. I'm going to pause it. Okay, now watch what happens here. Young Sheldon, a series about a genius, right? Elon's not a genius at all. Anybody who's a genius can tell that. These rockets go sideways, they explode, everything goes wrong. The only reason they succeeded in sending up the rocket to rescue those astronauts is because NASA was brought in to hold Elon's hand. NASA was brought in to do their thorough safety checks to make sure his rocket would fly. And what did they find? They found the flaws in Elon's rocket. If they did not have NASA check it, the hydraulic systems would have failed his rocket. Another rocket would have gone sideways. So what you have is Elon fails at everything, even his relationships. Now watch what they do in Young Sheldon. You're going to see the shaming process.
Only due to Sheldon's notebook.
The CNN reporter you're talking to?
Hang on.
What you just saw was Elon playing himself stealing tech from a genius.
Yeah. Okay, I get it. Yeah.
Watch that again, or do you get it?
Oh, I got it. Yeah, I got it.
Okay, now let's watch.
Circumstantial. Tom's projecting his life story onto this. And he's trying to say that it's all about him.
The final process. So we had grooming before he's given it. He didn't claim Neuralink yet. They do shaming. He hasn't given it yet. Not given it yet. No claim on Neuralink yet by Elon Musk. Still nobody. And then you get the final product. Okay, you ready? Okay, so here is where he's now, the exec from Warner Brothers goes over to Paramount. The exec who handled me in my writing to launder it, to steal it, went over to Paramount and they did Star Trek Rising. Watch what they do in Star Trek Rising now when they're ready to give the tech to Elon after he went through the grooming and shaming process. So here you're going to see something pretty fascinating. 1 second. Now I want people to follow along because you're never supposed to really see these things. You're never supposed to know these go on. Watch what they do here in Star Trek with the Paramount. The Warner Brothers lead attorney in the theft has gone to Paramount, and they're now going to do the final grooming for Elon Musk to bring him.
Does anybody know what the fuck Tom's talking about? Star Trek Rising. There's nothing called Star Trek Rising. What is it, this one? Strange New Worlds? I don't know. I don't know any of these assholes.
Fame before they give it to him.
Yeah.
How do you want me to remember? Alongside Black Rose, Elon Musk's second time.
Musk Jr.
Now what you see right there
Yeah.
is Elon Musk Junior High.
Yeah.
The main character goes to Elon Musk Junior High in that series. And the captain just said, how would you like to be remembered? As the greatest minds in history? Is that through Cochrane, the Star Trek hero, or Elon Musk? That is the final grooming. That is what's going on before they allow him to have the tech. Now what's going on here is when they give him the tech after this, it is clear they've established we own it, not you. And you must do our bidding when we put you beside the President of the United States for our purpose for that Antichrist harbinger, bringing the Antichrist.
I think Tom would be outrageous enough that in the chance event we lose Elon Musk unexpectedly, Tom is going to say that Elon Musk's only accomplishment was trying to steal Neuralink from his script. That's all he'll say. That's all he would say. Nothing about Tesla, nothing about PayPal, nothing about Twitter, nothing about SpaceX. I mean, I think those are all culturally significant enough to be mentioned as accomplishments. Like, what's his bar? You gotta wonder what's Tom's bar for success here? Is it what he's doing? Is that what he considers success? Tom is a vile human being. That's all I'll say.
You will now be in that position because of our decision to have you there. You will do our bidding, or we will pull back our tech with proof that we had it first. And you're shamed on our own program. So what you've got is that's the process. Now I want to go to share screen if I may. I don't know how much time we have. I want to share you. This is important. Let me go to the share screen. I'll send the request to share.
Yep.
Okay, going to share. But that is the final grooming. That is what's going on before they allow him to have the tech. Now, what's going on here is when they give him the tech after this, it is clear they've established we own it, not you. And you must do our bidding when we put you beside the President of the United States for our purpose for that Antichrist, bringing the Antichrist. That you will now be in that position because of our decision to have you there. You will do our bidding, or we will pull back our tech with proof that we had it first. And you're shamed on our own program. So what you've got is that's the process. Now I want to go to share screen if I may. I don't know how much time you have. I want to share you. This is important. Let me go to the share screen. I'll send the request to share.
Yep.
Okay.
They've been on for 20 minutes. And he's like, oh, I don't know how much time you have left. It's always like Tom is reporting from a bunker and he's about to get bombed. You notice that? Like, oh, I don't have much time. But let me go on 50 channels and talk for 2 hours about what this is all about. And you'll figure it out. The smart ones will get it.
Going to share. Great job. We're going to entire screen. I'm going to go to share. Can you see my screen?
So, yeah.
You do. Okay, good. Let's now go to the piece that I want to show you. Let me see if I can find it. Now I got to find it. Okay, here we go. Where is the...
You know what I want to do? I want to look at what's on his desktop here. This is all public video, right? Inserted biographics matrix, that's one. Everything files, everything file transfer. Everything file transfer, B drive 2. Case and lost family pics. Man, I don't know how anyone can operate a Mac and just have... Oh, man. Just have files stacked on top of files. You see this? This is why I use Microsoft. CIA private arm. Lost. Pat Robertson video. Aiden Docs folder, Neuralink pages from Immortals, second version of Immortals, clocks. And you know, a lot of this stuff he's sent me already. But see, he's never shown full scenes from this fucking script. That's what makes a lot of people suspicious here. Alright, let's continue.
Elon Musk part. Come on, Tom. Where's the Elon Musk part? No, just after all that build up, did I just misplace it? Goodness gracious. Okay, 1 second. I'm going to go back since I just disappeared from my computer. I'm going to go on to here. I have it here.
Goodness gracious.
Okay, I'm going to hold it up again. Back. Stop share for a second. I'll do it the other way here, the old-fashioned way. Now watch this. I'm going to do this very quickly for you. Okay, so we're going to go to the screenshot here. We're going to open that screenshot up wide. What you have here is for references for people. This is very important for you to understand all this. Star Trek Discovery, right? There it is. The date is on.
I thought you said it was Star Trek Rising. So is it Star Trek Rising or Star Trek Discovery?
By Paramount. This is 2017, right when they're going to give Elon Musk the Neuralink credit for it, while they control it. Now watch what happens in this series here. I'm going to go ahead. In the program, you're going to see this. You're going to hear this word described right there, the captions. It says the neural enhancer. Well, I called it in my screenplay the neural enhancer. It was to enhance the cognitive abilities and connect us with a library of memories and share and help Alzheimer's. I intended good.
Yeah, they could have called it anything else, right? Brain enhancer, mind enhancer, neural. The word neural is not copyrighted by you, dude.
I didn't know what God was intending at the time, but I thought this was going to do some good. So I called it the enhancer. They call it the enhancer in the program. Next scene. Again, the character again says about the neural enhancer. Now watch why I'm showing you this. Because watch what happens in the very scene, the very program. They change it to neuronal link.
Yes.
Why they change it in the program? Why they call it neural enhancer? Neural enhancer, which the author called it, as God directed me, to neural link.
Because they're describing it in a sentence in a... Oh my god, man. They're describing it in a sentence.
They change it to neuronal link.
They're explaining what it is. It's connecting to your neural network. Your brain. She could have had any other dialogue. She could have said, it's a brain connection. And he'd be saying, see, look at this. My Neuralink idea was connecting the brain. To what? He never goes into detail. He just says, oh no.
Why they change it in the program? Why they call it neural enhancer, which the author called it, as God directed me, to Neuralink? Because they're going to use a link to enslave all the population. Before they give it to Elon Musk, they're claiming it the author's name that he had, and then they're giving their own name. Elon Musk didn't come up with Neuralink as a name. Warner Brothers did. Paramount did. The studios did. The cabal did. Isn't that something? With the purpose of enslaving. Now keep in mind this. When Elon Musk did like this, the X,
Yeah.
that means the final solution. What he's doing is holding up, remember he did the Nazi salute? I kid you not. I'm not making this up. The X, when he flashes the X,
Yeah.
he's giving you in plain sight for you to agree to passively
Exactly.
that the final solution is good, that the elite will have their longevity and mortality on this planet that Stanford IBM is now solving.
You're off. You've jumped the shark, Tom. You jumped the shark when you claim people broke into your house and gave your script back. You're jumping the shark when you're telling people that Musk is signaling something from 80 years ago.
Solving, and that the rest of the population will be eliminated. Elon Musk doesn't care about anybody except himself.
Just
I'll go on the record to say that Tom Althouse cares about nobody except himself. And those who he thinks or deems are useful to him. Until they're not. And then they're losers and nobodies and all that junk, right?
a little bit right here, because this is what's been going on in the last couple of decades, and especially a few years back when we had the shots that would roll out to all humanity.
Yes,
But
yes.
this is the UN agenda, you know, to lower the population. Bill Gates talks about this. The World Economic Forum talks about this. It's talking about enslaving human beings and to take control of their minds. And this is a direct quote from Harari himself. He said, "We will know how you feel. When you're standing there and applauding the great leader, we will know how you really feel, and you will be in Gulag tomorrow." Who talks like that?
Yes, and the Neuralink, you're right, the Neuralink will make sure it happens. The Neuralink allows them to monitor everything you feel. The room of monitors in the Matrix is in my original screenplay, and I've got the screenshots. If we need to do part 2, we'll show that.
Yeah.
But you'll see, the room of monitors belongs to...
If we do part 2, we'll show that. Show it now, damn it! He has no structure. Do you understand this? There's no structure to his story. It's all anecdotal. That's why it didn't fly in court. Where he's telling the lawyer in the deposition, I found it real fascinating that this and this happened at the same time, and this person was connected to this. Dude, show some proof. Get documents, get letterheads. Show the names of these fucks.
Yes.
Show their connection to you. But this is a grift. He's found a way to do this where he only has to show up once or twice on a show, and that's it. But I'm telling you right now, Tom, your loyal viewer base, there's not going to be such a thing down the line. When people search for you, they find your stuff with me. And then they find my recent stuff. And then that's the end of the rabbit hole for them.
Not the architect. They switched it when they made it up as they went along off a visual storyboard, looking at all the images they thought were cool, and took the story apart and shredded it like chop shopping a car or a Porsche. What they did was ruin the story. But they used everything they thought was cool and just pasted it in as they made it up as they went along. That's why Warner's attorneys say there are no working drafts. They made it up as they went along off a visual storyboard of lifting all the images. That's the device they came up with for how this deal to work. What's interesting is if you look at this original page right here, it's very hard to see right there, but I'm going to blow it up real quick here, just so you can see an excerpt from it. I want you to see this and watch what happens. Oops, sorry. Here we go. Okay, I'm going to blow it up real quick. Let me get right to it so you can actually give it the attention. Okay, here we go. Look at this entry here. I don't know if you can read it. See that boxed entry right there? I'll read it to you. I'm going to read it to you, but if you see the entry, that's from the original.
Let's see what this says. Monique, don't know who that is. Says, throw me a capsule now. And then it describes the scene. Jim does so. Monique picks it up off the floor. Monique says, as soon as they come for me, run. And then more description. Monique puts the capsule between her teeth, seeming to smile as she keeps it away from her lips. She tears her top, exposing a breast. What the fuck? 2 central guards appear. They tackle her hard as 4 more enter the room. They run towards Monique, whose arms are now pinned down. So he wrote a rape scene. Good for him. It's all about context, you know? All about context. So let's see what he has to say, how this matches up.
Pages from the Immortals, the Matrix story.
Yeah, please, Tom, before you do that, because I know this, but the audience probably don't know this, because this is totally unknown for everybody. You keep saying the Immortals. You have to clarify.
Okay, all right, yeah. This title right here, here's the original Matrix story copyright. I'm glad you brought this up. The Immortals is what Warner Brothers is copywriting. They're saying they didn't copyright the Matrix title.
No,
it is the Wachowskis that came up with the title Matrix in 1996, but Warner Brothers still holds the Immortals title.
Yeah,
so
because that's the original name, right?
That's the original name, and what Warner Brothers embraced.
Yeah.
See? It was only the Wachowskis that said Matrix. And so in 1993, they're dealing with the Immortals. And the reason you get Matrix from the Wachowskis, they have very simple minds. They took the Immortals' letters,
yes,
reversed them like they did the story,
yes,
and came up with Matrix. So every letter is there for Matrix from the Immortals. They thought that would be clever.
No. You see, in 1993, Carrie Ann Moss was in a TV series called Matrix. And it's under my understanding here that the Wachowskis got the name Matrix from that TV show that Carrie Ann Moss was in. They didn't go rearrange your letters. We did that on this show. We tried rearranging the letters and all that shit. And we had leftover letters. You see the Peter Thiel thing being an anagram for the reptile? There's no missing letters with that. Every letter is used. Not in this case where he's trying to say they just took my title and made the Matrix out of it. They put the X in there because of Elon and other. Dude, make up your fucking mind.
I'm glad you asked. Immortals' letters,
yes,
reversed them like they did the story,
yes,
and came up with Matrix. So every letter is there for Matrix from the Immortals. They thought that would be clever. I'm glad you asked. And then what's missing? The X. They add the X, the final solution, to the Immortals. See how?
So really, 5 letters are there. MATRI. And probably the. How does the X factor in, Tom?
This is,
Yeah.
and that's where Elon comes in. So I'm glad you asked. So
And
yes,
we're gonna have to come back to that later in the next session, because this is so important, just because of the name of it and the Neuralink and the adrenochrome, all of these things in the red pill and the blue pill. These are so heavily connected. But please show us this that you wanted now
the
first.
Trinity character, Trinity, right? The Trinity character. Her name is Monique in the original because there's actually 3 love interests of Neo, so they call her Trinity. See, it all makes sense. So Monique puts the capsule between her teeth, seeming.
Because there's 3 love interests. Man, this story must be fucking legendary. It's so good that Tom doesn't want anybody to see it. Just the courts, right?
Love interests of Neo, so they call her Trinity.
Show us this that you wanted now
The
first.
Trinity character, Trinity, right? The Trinity character. Her name is Monique in the original because there's actually 3 love interests of Neo, so they call her Trinity. See, it all makes sense. So Monique puts the capsule between her teeth, seeming to smile as she keeps it away from her lip.
No, it doesn't all make sense to me. What are the names of the other 2 love interests? That's what I want to know. But they're not named Trinity, you see that? You have to look at all of this very objectively. And that's when you start seeing all the holes in this.
She tears her top, exposing the breast. 2 central guards appear. They tackle her hard as 4 more enter the room. They run towards Monique, whose arms are now pinned down. She bites down hard on the blue pill. The blue sparks begin, and the guards dissolve. Now, what's very important is this entry, they loved it, so they put it into Star Trek, the same episodes as promoting Elon Musk, to use up that element of the story. It is the first femme fatale in film history, I'm being told by producers in Hollywood. Now watch how that plays out, and how badly they do it.
Oh my god. How do I say this? Tom claims the first femme fatale. Here's another lie of Tom's here. Look at this. The term originates from the French phrase femme fatale, which means deadly woman or lethal woman. In early 20th century American films, a femme fatale character was referred to as a vamp, a reference to the vampire. Philip Burne Jones' 1897 painting and Kipling's later 1897 poem, and the 1909 play and 1915 film A Fool There Was. Female mobsters have been portrayed as femme fatales in film noir. Ancient archetypes. The femme fatale archetype exists in culture, folklore, and myths of many cultures. Ancient mythical and legendary examples include Inanna, Lilith. So, hey, he might be saying he wrote the Bible, huh? Is he saying he wrote the Bible? You see this? There's also femme fatale. Died in 1000 BC. 1000 BC. Let's listen to this asshole lie again.
Fatale in film history, I'm being told by producers in Hollywood, as promoting Elon Musk, to use up that element of the story. It is the first femme fatale in film history, I'm being told by producers in Hollywood. Now watch how that plays out.
Yeah, let's watch how that plays out here. First femme fatale in film history. What about this movie? San Francisco private detective Sam Spade takes on a case that involves him with 3 eccentric criminals, a gorgeous liar, or a femme fatale, and their quest for a priceless statuette, with the stakes rising after his partner is murdered. So we can go further in here. In the Western culture of the late 19th and early 20th centuries, the femme fatale became a more fashionable trope. In 1891, Oscar Wilde wrote the play Salome. Oh, that sounds really weird. Here, this is what I wanted to look at. And I'll get to the comments in a sec. Just hold on. During the era of classic film noirs of the 1940s and 50s, the femme fatale flourished in American cinema. Well, dude, what was Tom just saying? Tom is saying he wrote the first femme fatale. Fucking liar.
Is this entry, they loved it, so they put it into Star Trek, the same episodes as promoting Elon Musk, to use up that element of the story. It is the first femme fatale in film history, I'm being told by producers in Hollywood. Now watch how that plays out, and how badly they do it to use it up, but do it badly to mock the author. So, blue pill is going to be bitten down. This blue pill is going to be bitten down on, right? Bitten down on. Let me just look there. And it's going to cause her to dissolve painfully as she sacrifices herself for Neo, right? And what they do, though, the actress is just evil. I will say she's evil, this actress. And what's very important is this entry, they loved it, so they put it into Star Trek, the same episodes as
Star Trek,
Elon Musk, to use up that element of the story. It is the first femme fatale in film history, I'm being told by producers in Hollywood. Now watch how that plays out, and how badly they do it to use it up, but do it badly to mock the author. So, blue pill is going to be bitten down. This blue pill is going to be bitten down on, right? Bitten down on. Let me just look there. And it's going to cause her to dissolve painfully as she sacrifices herself for Neo, right? And what they do, though, the actress is just evil. I will say she's evil, this actress you're going to see. She does exactly what they want, Star Trek Discovery. When they just promoted Elon Musk, up, down, and sideways.
You see, he is actually saying that other people are evil. His whole concept of this in his mind is ass backwards. There are no evil people. There are only evil deeds, evil things. Things that people do can be evil. But the people themselves are not evil. You can't just blanket somebody as evil because you disagree with the way people do certain things. And why would you say that this actress of all things they're evil? Again, he's throwing around mockery. He's trying to discredit everybody he's talking about. Has he said one good thing about anybody during this show so far? Besides himself?
And now they're going to mock in a very important entry of that piece you just read, you just heard. Now watch what they do here. So I'm going to play this for you. Okay, here we go. So Monique's going to take it, bite down hard, die in agony to save the Neo. But watch what they do with it. Takes it.
Yeah.
Bites down hard. Looks naively and innocently over, not in pain at all, just, oh, here I am. Dissolves. And that character says, oh, that was new. That's how they used it up. That's how they used it up. So they take your good work, which is meant as a gift to audiences, as a service to audiences and to God, and they ruin it by dumbing it down. That's why in the Matrix they hold up a battery. That field of pods, it's not about battery power. It's about the architect using humanity to stimulate his mind, because his mind will lack stimulation in an immortal program. So that's why his agents stir up trouble outside the program, so that his mind is stimulated. That's why Neo can't destroy Smith, and Smith can't destroy Neo in my work. Neo doesn't have Superman powers. He's an ordinary person, but the architect does not allow Smith to take Neo out because he needs that stress between them, that hate between them, to build, to stimulate the architect's mind. So not until he gives the word to Smith to take Neo out does it happen. And when he does give the word to Neo, or Smith, to take Neo out, he sets Smith up to fail. Now, so Neo takes his Neuralink and takes it as his own and replaces it to find the dome in the Cortex building. I just said a lot, but when you look at the Wachowskis trying to understand it, they didn't understand it at all. So what they did was just lived what they thought was cool. But the architect needs Smith and then purges his agents because he doesn't need them anymore, because the people of Zion are going to come out by an oracle to see him come back as Christ. So the pure power of worship to stimulate his mind forever. Now stay with me.
You see, Tom is trying to claim that they used this in Star Trek, or Star Trek, as Tom is saying. But there's no ripping of and exposing of the breast. There's no security guards. Like, the whole scene isn't there. And if he really wanted to compare the different... Like, he's not going to do this. But the differences between his, like, block on the back of the head thing... Like, there's none of that in the Matrix. You don't have a chip. It is just a jack in the back of the head. Which was used in Ghost in the Shell. But don't tell Tom that. Alright, let's catch up on the comments here. Lerny said, brains don't connect until Tom said so. Brains didn't connect until Tom said so. And Lerny also says he wasn't even around for that. And I think you're referring to the femme fatale thing. Yeah, he wasn't the first one to do that. He is clearly lying here. That's why I said he's lying about one thing. What else is he lying about? We've covered, I have to say, over a dozen different major lies here that he's said, including stuff related to me. What he's lied about me on other shows about.
So what happens is, the architect doesn't bring him out for the architect looking like Christ. The architect brings him out for the oracle brings him out for the real Christ that's going to appear. And the real Christ does appear, the identical figures at the end. And they even keep the scene where the architect, or the architect's son, shoots the Christ. And he looks down, and he looks up, and only his palms bleed. They kept it in the Matrix. They put Neo in place of Christ. They have his eyes look down, his palms drip blood, and he looks back up. They kept it because they thought it was cool. But they took out the Christ message. You can't take the Christ message out and expect it to tie together. Now, it was voted one of the worst sequels of all time in history, number 11. And Wachowski didn't want anything about Christ in it. In fact, when they did galas and events, they were asked a question at a gala, answering all these questions.
One of the worst sequels, but he says they took out the Christ symbolism? I don't fucking think so. Look at Matrix Revolutions. There's Christ symbolism everywhere in that third film. Lerny says last comment was about femme fatale. Yeah, he wasn't even around for that. That's what you said. Yep. Yeah, he was not alive in the 1800s to come up with that first. And even though younger than 1000 BC. Tom was around in 1000 BC. You see? I'm surprised he hasn't gotten to where he told Shakespeare about Romeo and Juliet. Lerny says the one comment before was about his neuro naming. Yeah. It's like there wasn't ever electricity until Tesla harnessed it, right? Andreas says, Superman powers, so where's the heat vision, ice breath, bulletproof? The only powers shows Neo's is flight and strength, maybe. Also, do any scenes involve the stopping bullets midair at all? I don't think so, Andreas. If you're talking about Tom's Immortal script, I don't think he has any scenes where they're stopping bullets. The phone booth thing, it's prevalent in other films. that are also connected to Keanu Reeves. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. You have Doctor Who. The phone booth itself, based off of Enter the Stars, who's a YouTube channel on here. You should really check them out. They go into telephone booths being copper antennas. And there's a bunch of 9/11 symbolism and Masonic images, the checker floors. I personally went on a deep dive looking for the 11 symbolism everywhere, which that I've concluded that's Freemason as well. One of the Wachowskis' first movies, Bound, has a shot where they're going to look at the suitcase they have, and Joe Pantoliano is voicing over. He says, "Isn't it beautiful?" And the shot is closing in on the briefcase that has 2 vertical lines on the front of the briefcase, symbolizing 11. So I believe the Wachowskis got their initiation with that Bound movie, and then that's how they were gifted the tenure with Warner Brothers. They joined the club by using imagery. It has nothing to do with whatever the fuck Tom's doing. Tom's calling studio execs and ranting and raving at them about his script, and then hears nothing back, like many screenwriters probably do. And then not until 10 years after the fact, Tom's like, "Wait a minute, they stole my script?" Even though he was at the theater when it was released. And he's like, "Oh yeah, there's nothing comparable here." Explain that one.
You took out the Christ message. You can't take the Christ message out and expect it to tie together. Now, it was voted one of the worst sequels of all time in history, number 11. And the Wachowskis didn't want anything about Christ in it. In fact, when they did galas and events, they were asked a question at a gala, answering all these questions. They were asked, "It looks like Christ is in there in many different faiths." They said in answer, "That's all the time we have for questions," and then didn't want to do interviews again.
Yeah.
So you have a very clear signal that they did not want the Christian message in. Instead, they slap a gold cross on Neo in a crucifix position to mock Christ.
Exactly.
And now it's all turning around. So yes, it's all being restored. They didn't know what to do with it. And they even said on set, this is very important, they said on set, this is in articles, that everybody said to blow up the Matrix to end it, because they're lifting everything out of context. Instead, what they did was they said, "We want to keep the exact same ending." And they did. The exact same ending was kept.
Without the context, without the meaning that it would have.
And trying not to give the glory to God. How can you lift the exact ending? That's why everybody said to blow it up. If you're going to do it atheist style, blow it up. Yeah, you should have. But God is smart. He moved them to keep the exact same ending. In their arrogance, they kept it. And everybody said to do it. So the Christ message is there. You can't take it out. And they don't want to talk about it.
Okay, so these things are really showing that they're taking the script, the original script, they're trying to keep the bits and pieces they find intriguing, but they don't want to show you the real message. And we're going to get back to that in a little while, because the red pill and the blue pill, those are the things that have been distorted beyond recognition, and even more, because you mentioned they're taking the Christ out of the picture, and that means that they're also mocking the work that Jesus did on the cross.
Absolutely.
And they're using the blood from the red pill as a good thing. Now, maybe we should just take it right away, because this is since we're already
Wherever you go, I'm there. So wherever you want to go, because this is all important.
in the wake community now, everyone is talking about, do you want the blue pill or do you want the red pill? And take the red pill, you're drinking the Kool-Aid, so to speak, right? Then you're awake, then you want to know, then you want to change the world. But it is absolutely the opposite around. Please touch on that.
Yes, what you have is with the red pill, blue pill. When I submitted it, I was making it so, like here's the graphic that I just hold up right here. So what you have here is they took the red pill and the blue pill and they switched it. And they have Morpheus offering Neo the blue pill and the red pill. It makes no sense. What they're doing is Alice in Wonderland. They're putting in what they're familiar with as they make it up as they go along. So they thought Alice in Wonderland will solve their problem as they lift the work apart. But what you have...
So if they're making it up as they go along, does that not say that there's a sense of creativity involved? You have to make up your mind, Tom. Either they stole your work and have no imagination, or they were smart enough to take elements from your script and then build on top of it and make it better and indistinguishable from your original script, where now only you can see the differences. And this is me giving you a lot of fucking slack that you don't deserve. You don't deserve this slack, Tom. How do you do this with a studio? How would have that meeting would have gone with Warner Brothers and Wachowskis? Oh, we don't have a script. Just give us the money. I mean, they gave a verbal pitch to Warner, or I think it was Netflix for Sense8, right? But why would Warner Brothers finance the original Matrix film with no script? Tell me that. And you'd think there would be evidence. Like, if they were really taking Tom's script, there would be drafts leading up to the shooting script they used on set. Where are the other scripts from the Wachowskis where they changed the names of the characters at the front just as a first draft? Swapped out all your names for their names. That would be evidence. Doesn't exist. Then next would be the segmenting off of the different scenes. Again, where's the paper trail?
It's Alice in Wonderland. They're putting in what they're familiar with as they make it up as they go along, so they thought Alice in Wonderland will solve the problem as they lift the work apart. But what you have is, in the original, it is not the red pill and the blue pill being offered at the same time. In the original piece, the red pill is given to Neo by the orders of the architect. The architect has ordered Smith. He doesn't want to give it to him. Smith wants Neo dead. But that, again, stimulating the mind for that conflict, stimulating the architect's mind, the conflict building between them, and all humanity is what he wants. So, to keep his mind activated. So you have Smith ordered to give Neo the red pill.
Yeah.
He lays it to him and says that you've been chosen. But also lays a gun out if he wants to take his own life. But the red pill is based on the blood of the children, their growth hormones, to create a longevity program, longevity pill. So that's what the red pill is. It's based on the blood of the children to create an immortal program, a longevity pill. And they're actually working on longevity now, Stanford IBM, as I said. So that's the only time the red pill's offered at that moment.
Yeah.
Neo doesn't have a choice. He either takes it or him and his family will die. So the red pill is bad. It's bad. It's forced upon Neo in the original work. The blue pill comes into play later. When Neo is cut from the program.
Show the screen... Like, show the screenplay, flip to the pages where this is at. But he's not going to do it. This is the opportune time for him to do this, and he's not doing it.
He goes to make a transaction on the screen, and his credit's all gone. He realizes he's cut. The Oracle sends Trinity to help him get through the train station to end up in underground. In the underground, he's offered the blue pill. The blue pill is not based on the blood of the children. The blue pill is the good pill. The blue pill is what allows him to re-enter the program after he's cut off to take on Smith and the architect. So the blue pill is a re-entry pill, but it has painful side effects. It's not perfected. It's a bootleg pill, if you will, created for the purposes of getting back in that program. So it's not perfect. So that's what it is. It's not this.
Yeah, no.
Wonderland, eat me, drink me. It's this, or you and your family die, red, based on the blood of the children, or this blue, which is innocent and good, that you can re-enter the program, but the cost will be painful side effects if you want to try to save humanity.
This is where the part of the thing called adrenochrome comes in. And for people who don't know this, that is the title, right? The Immortals. This is the way.
That's the title.
Yeah, and this is
and I use. Both of us use. Warner Brothers and I use the Immortals title.
And this is what the elite is working on. And this is a whole subject to itself. But this is how they are creating their youth and how they want to live forever and how they want to enslave us and how they're doing these things and getting the power because they're abusing children. And when you abuse a child to the limit of total fear, the blood in human body will extort this subject, and this subject is called the adrenochrome, and they drink this blood, and that is how they get their power. So when Sophia Stewart comes out and says that, oh, I'm the original writer, I had the original script, which was like 33 pages, 33
pages, not even screenplay,
which had nothing to do with actual screenwriting, and she comes out in public and says the red pill is based on the blood of the children, and it is a good thing. That says it all. You cannot drink the blood of the children and say that it's a good thing. This is evil at its core. Just like the movie, because I wanted to address this because this is not a movie that is a fantasy about a red pill and a blue pill. This is the actual choice you're getting in the grooming process for the elite. If you want to reach the power level in this world, you have to choose the red pill. You have to choose being so evil that you have no problem with sacrificing and eating and drinking the blood of the children. You have no choice. This is the level and the ladder you have to climb, and this is what you decline to do. Once I knew what the world was really about, all of these things, I lost all kind of, fear for man. I don't care if I'm in audience with the president. I don't care. Because like Job says, we're all human. We're all made of God, from God. But when I stand in front of someone who has sacrificed so much as you have, that is a total different level of respect for me. And I know that you chose not to take the red pill. You chose to say no to their offer. And
by the way, we're 38 minutes and 28 seconds in. He has not once mentioned why he's doing all of this, what he's claimed in the past. He's not mentioned his 2 dead sons at all. The very thing, the reason why he's on here to begin with, right? Andreas says Smith and Matrix wanted freedom from the system and even thanked Neo for it and just mostly wanted to infect him. Yeah, Andreas, I'm going to be putting a video out going into detail on the Smith character. But just to let you know here, from what you just said, Smith in the first film is a program. There's no soul, no spirit. It is a program created, I believe, by the machines, because that's who they report to. When Smith overwrote Neo at the end of the first Matrix, they explain in the second one that he got bits of code from Neo written onto him. So Smith still does not have a soul or spirit in the sequels, but he will have the human characteristics because of Neo. Where, I mean, in the first film, he was trying to understand, like, why is he stuck in the Matrix? He wants to get out. Again, this is a program having this dilemma. It's very difficult to explain, which is why I'm going to do like a pre-recorded video on all this. But by the second film, Smith was now projecting those human characteristics of Neo, of wanting to be free, you know? But ultimately, he was a corrupted program in that the two sequels, and he essentially became what he was trying. Like, he was the antivirus of the Matrix in the first movie, and he became the virus in the sequels without realizing it. That's why he has no empathy, no sympathy. When he goes and writes over other people in the Matrix, he's straight up killing them. He's making them vegetables by overwriting them while they're plugged in. Makes me think of the lady with the grocery bag in the courtyard in Matrix Reloaded. He just writes over her, doesn't give a shit, smiling while he's doing it. Lerny says, oof, she's lost. And Lerny also says, I gotta head out, see y'all later. Thanks for being here, Lerny. Andreas says, yes, he is a program that became self-aware and wanted when Neo entered him. It override the architect programming, or as you say, corrupted. Yeah. I mean, just think of Smith being in Bane's body in the sequels and walking around in the real world. The reason he cut his arms up and everything with the knife, you see all of the scabs and everything, it's because he never felt physical real pain before. And Smith, the program in a human body, found it fascinating to experience that pain. It's very sadistic, but it makes logical sense from a soulless program who's never experienced something as a human being, and now for the first time, even though it's hurting them, they think it's fascinating. That's the best way I can describe that too. Like, he's doing a lot of things he shouldn't be doing when it comes to the sequels. he's rebelling against the purpose of his programming, which was to find the unplugged people who could just jack right back into the Matrix mainframe and walk around with all the other plugged-in people, which is different from what Tom says. It's a lot different. They have it all worked out in the back end where, like, their ships can just broadcast straight into the Matrix. They don't need some chip on the back of the head. They just plug in the cord and go. There's no memory chip in there. Andreas says, oh, he hated it, in my opinion. He calls it weak being in that meat suit. His words, sucks for him. Yeah. Well, you gotta keep in mind all of our physical sensations of living here in what we call reality, that doesn't translate over into a digital realm as easily. That's why I think there's that line in the first film, Morpheus says, your mind makes it real. So if someone gets punched in the Matrix, they're gonna feel the pain. They're believing they got punched and that it's gonna hurt. That's why the pain signals go off in the Matrix. I guess a better see, they could have really explored these concepts and they didn't. But they could have gone into sequels where you could even have Neo get into a fist fight, but none of the punches affect him. It's like, dude, you should have lost your teeth. You should have, like, had your nose broke. You should have a black eye. No. It's a Matrix. It's not real. It's not real in my mind. It's not real here. It doesn't affect me. Like, that would have been a nice character growth from when he was getting all punched up and spitting blood out in the ship. He's getting punched up in the Matrix and then he's spitting up blood. Like, there should have been a juxtaposition of that in the sequels where, like, same situation happens, but he's not spitting out blood anymore. Because in his mind, it's no longer real. So he can have a bunch of different programs in the Matrix trying to inflict pain on him, but he's like, no, none of it's gonna work, sorry. I know this whole construct is fake. You can punch me all you want, it won't affect me. Like, that's the route I think Neo should have went down and explored some of these concepts. You could have even had a different character explore that. But yeah, Andreas Smith did not like being in the real world as Bane. And you have to wonder, like, did Smith completely write over Bane's personality, or like were there like key things in like his mannerisms that stayed? I mean, a lot of the people on the ship, when they were like interrogating him, they're like, this dude's off, this dude's fucking nuts. Like, they could have did a little more with that, saying like, oh, you know, he's not even talking the same anymore. You notice that? Like, his speech cadence is different. He's walking around different. Did you see that? Like, he's not even the same person. They could have had that type of dialogue inserted. It's like 10, 15 seconds to show that this is not the Bane that they know. Just a little more time and effort. And see, the sequels are an easy punching bag for many critics, including Tom. So of course he can spout off the statistics of, oh yeah, number 11 worst sequel ever. What the it's all opinion based anyway. He wants to be accepted by the elite crowd that he despises and wants nothing to do with. You notice this? He wants to be accepted by the elite.
Because, like Job says, we're all human. We're all made of God, from God. But when I stand in front of someone who has sacrificed so much as you have, that is a total different level of respect for me. And I know that you chose not to take the red pill. You chose to say no to their offer. And this is why they have ripped your work apart and had used it and distorted it, because they couldn't have the real story come out. Because that is a story of man connecting back to God and man not drinking the Kool-Aid and not being willing to sacrifice for power. But that, just like you did in the movie, you said he was offered, take the blue pill or die. So you are still alive. What has this cost you? If you're comfortable talking about it, and if you are, and if you want to, could you please also address how you can show that you know that it's connected to what is happening?
Let's see how long it takes him to say anything about his two sons.
Because just like you showed us all of these movie clips now, this is how the elite works. They show us everything in advance in movies and in the news and these circles. And if we don't stop it, if we don't shout out and say, no, we don't want this, we have approved. And then we are also guilty, right?
That's exactly right. They put it in plain sight before you.
And
even if you don't know, they figure that you've agreed.
Because you're a grown-up. We are supposed to know. We are supposed to be alive. We're supposed to be taking responsibility for our life and for our children's life and for our families, right? So we're supposed to know what's going on. We're not supposed to give our power to some leaders that claim authority without... Why? Why are we giving our power to them? So what did this cost you? And how did they show you that what the cost is a direct consequence of you saying no to the red pill?
This is a really hard but brilliant question. It cost me everything, and that's not a lie. And also, it's hard for me, but it's like, I need to be strong through it.
You don't have to.
But it's like, my two sons were killed, and I was told that they died.
40 minutes. Took him 40 fucking minutes to mention them at all. And he had to be cued in order to be reminded of them. You see that?
Because I refused to obey them. And that was done by a Disney. My sons were killed. And I was told that they died because I refused to obey them. And that was done by a Disney attorney calling me and said that, yes, they were taken. And that my last son was alive. It was to make me... Because they said...
A Disney attorney called him? Say the name. Do you have the phone call recorded? No. All anecdotal.
They knew that I was concerned for his safety, so it would make me not talk or share my story or claim my rights back. As far as claiming my rights, they called that daring to face them down. And that's why they said that's why all this has happened to me. I was supposed to join their side and be a script doctor. And they said I'd have the best of a life, even with my two sons dead, they soon, the best of a life by laundering other people's work to use my expertise to seal their work. And then I would be held up and revered in the...
Man, that vocal fry is killing me. And...
I was supposed to join their side and be a script doctor. And they said I'd have the best of a life, even with my two sons dead, they soon, the best of a life by laundering other people's work to use my expertise to seal their work. And then I would be held up and revered in the Hollywood studios and the cabal, because they would say that we're the ones that know you wrote it. The audiences don't understand that you wrote it. We made sure of that, so we're the only ones that really know you're a genius and will lift you and honor that you did the work. So this whole mind play they use to bring you into the fold, if you will, they still consider me an asset. Yeah.
And this is an offer that you have received now after they have actually admitted to killed your sons.
That's right. It's basically the red pill. So I've been offered the red pill a number of times.
Andreas says, now she finally mentions kids and both sons were killed or died. Didn't one go no contact with him? Andreas, I believe both of the sons that passed away were in no contact with Tom. And that's partially also why he doesn't have any photographs up. He said that he wasn't even allowed to see their bodies. Like, why would he be refused to go to the funeral? Unless, like, he was fucking locked up at the time, right? And the loony bin. Like, he had the photos he showed me. We showed it on the interviews. He was a harm to himself, so he got locked up in the crazy house. I'm not lying here. But yeah, I think he didn't have contact. There was no contact with the sons. So he probably found out about it from someone else, possibly his ex, who had the sons with him. Like, who knows? The mother of Aiden is not the mother of his other two sons that passed away. He's saying there's 2 honeypot wives. How do you make the mistake twice? I mean, the way that he talks about Aiden's mother being a prostitute and a honeypot wife, like, That must really make Aiden feel like shit if he ever listens to any of this. But he was openly talking about that in his house, in the kitchen, in the main room on the first floor. The sound travels upstairs. His son must have heard some of the bad shit that Tom was saying about his mom. Aiden's mom.
And the offers are quite elaborate. To be flown out with 10 other individuals I choose, to resort. If I don't like to resort, there'll be a new one. I'll be touring studios where I'll be mentoring other writers and teaching them the techniques that I was given and learned and developed. And would be held in high esteem, but I would never be known. But I would be very, very wealthy. One of the wealthiest in Hollywood. That's part of the story that they throw. But what's interesting is in the process of taking everything that you love and hold dear, including your intellectual property, they will put it in plain sight, like they did Elon Musk. Remember the Elon Musk materials? They did that with me also.
Yeah.
So you'll see the same process with me. If you want to see those now, I'll show you what they put in, unless I didn't answer your question sufficiently.
No, I know. I'd like to see that. This is the length they will go to. That people need to know these things. They need to know that the people they admire and celebrate as stars are actually this evil, that they will go through anything and they will kill off everything as long as they get what they want. Even after that.
Yeah, that's right.
After that, they come to you with an offer.
The reason I'm alive is I'm considered an asset. Also, I'm supposed to watch the death of my dearest loved ones and be on this planet in a living death, in a living hell. And they want to do that. So the idea in my screenplay that God gave me with the gun being laid out while the pill is offered by Smith and Yo, it's the same thing. They're saying, you can take your life if you want. If it's too much, take your life. They'll even tell you that.
Yeah, don't.
Or join us. Join us and have the beautiful women. They throw that. They throw fame, money. They throw all that at you.
Yeah.
But I want the beautiful women. I want a normal life. I actually want to be a farmer. But I felt that God tapped me to do this, and I did it faithfully. So.
But you chose to stand up against them, and you chose to continue to fight to retrieve what God given you, although it can cost you everything, and that's admirable. Just like we talked about, they show us everything in advance. Can you show us that scene from The Matrix when they're showing the world? Because they're saying to you that the audience doesn't know that you wrote it, but we know it. But they've shown it anyway. It's in the film. Could you show us these pieces, please?
Yes, I do. I want to show you something too. Right before that, I want to show you this here too. Just to show you how the matchups are all through the original work. What you see, it's hard to see right now, but I'll read it to you. The scene from The Matrix. Now, you see a African-American
Same shit he showed on the other shows.
man with headphones on, reading a screen with green scrolling blips as he navigates the ship and loud rock music is playing. Listen to what's from that original page right there.
What is he trying to accomplish being on this 200 subscriber channel? How is this helping him?
In my screenplay. All right, so that's what's in the picture. Now let's take a look at what's in the script, what it says. So this was just showing you the driver with the headphones on, listening to loud music from The Matrix, right? And let me read that top entry. A young driver is having a blast operating the tunneler and playing loud music. He watches the screen showing the scrolling map in green with blips on it. That's exactly, they took it exactly, that sentence. They took exactly and did that full picture. That's not just lifting the work, that's lifting it in its full layers. So that's what I wanted to show you right there. Isn't that something? So there's a lot of switching they do because they weren't that bright. And I want to show you this too real quick. Goodness gracious, it's battling me. Okay, here we go. The original, that's my original pages right there for the train station scene. And it's a crowded train station scene which they dulled down.
Can you even see any of this shit? How are we supposed to look at this? I can't read shit. It's too small. Tom will just tell you you're not smart enough to see it. Right?
To just 3 individuals because they wanted to cheapen the budget, like go under budget less. So they cheapened it by getting rid of the crowd and putting just in the static family, well dressed. It's supposed to be 4 families that are pushing their kids forward. Let's go to now what you talked about.
Because explain to the audience while you're looking at that. Because we talked about this before. We talked about how they're showing us everything in the movies and they're showing us what they're going to do and they give us a choice to accept it or not. But they also do something else. They also show each other things through the movies. They're showing.
Guess what? There was a railway system in the first Matrix because it was supposed to originally have been in Chicago. All right. Doesn't take too much brain power to come to that conclusion.
Small clips that are too small for us to register with our minds, but are there. And this is one of those pages. Yeah, this is the one of the
first graphic. Right? It's the first graphic done in the Matrix. It's the first graphic in the first scene they shot, and it's the first scene I wrote, the interrogation scene. In that scene, Smith simply comes in and opens the folder. To open it up, just opens the folder and flashes that shot. Now watch how fast it goes. I'm going to play the actual.
This is important. Yeah, this is so important.
The actual scene for you. So here we go. Let me see if I can get this to play. So watch this. Here's the actual scene from the Matrix. We're going to see the author stuff completely flashed. Let me see if I can get it to go. Hold on. Let me see if I can go. It doesn't want to go right now. Hold on. No.
Are we doing better than last time anyway?
He's going to fight me. So let me get it to go. Okay, hold on. Come on, baby. Okay, it doesn't want to play. All right. Anyway, if Jessica is going to fight me, I'll just tell you. So this folder is going to open and flash for a split second.
Yeah, everyone can go watch the movie and see this.
It's going to fight me right now. Let me see if there's any way to.
It's not even a second, it's so quick.
Right. So right here, it just doesn't want to do it. But you can almost, wait, let me see if I can actually get it to go. It's worth it. Yeah, it's going. Okay, now it wants to go.
Okay, that's fine.
So
That's fine.
So I'm going to hold this and I'll show you. I'm going to do it this way. I'll fight it and get it to work. So look at this. Watch how fast it goes.
Yeah.
Gone.
Yeah.
Watch again. Here it comes up again. One more time. Gone. Now what does that show?
Just before you say what it's showing here, because you have to think, you have to think like an audience. What does that do? Why is that in there? There's no reason for anyone to make a film like this, because it shows you nothing, it tells you nothing, it adds nothing to the story, but it does something else, and you're going to show us that, please.
That's right. It is a split second. It's shown for a split second upside down, because the graphic designer, Susan Bolgen, even said, anything in for a split second to keep the project interesting for the directors. It's never meant for audiences to see or understand. So it's flashed that fast for a split second. But on it is all my information. What they're doing is putting in plain sight, and what you said. It says, okay, we showed it.
Hey, Zandy. No, Andreas was talking about a character in the third Matrix film. It's all good. We all love life here. Yeah, Andreas was talking about the soulless program, Agent Smith, taking over another human being's body, which is in the Matrix franchise. And Smith, in that human body, says to Neo that he despises the meat suit he's in. So the program living in a human body is talking about how it disgusts him. And there's no divinity with it. The program is already corrupted. There's demonic elements and influences with Smith at this point in the story. And that's why Bane says these things. So, I hope that clarified it for you, Zandy. And thank you for being here. I appreciate you spending time here with me. On this channel, we believe in Jesus Christ and His Father, the Heavenly Father Creator.
Split second. But on it is all my information. What they're doing is putting in plain sight, and what you said. It says, okay, we showed it, and you didn't make a fuss, because you didn't know about it. So therefore, you gave us permission to take it, and we're going to mock you through it. That's what. The only reason I saw this is because an insider from the story department, Warner Brothers, told me where to look and what was in there. He said they hate you, they don't understand your work, they're mocking you. I'm the only person that would recognize my high school, my birthday, my fiance's birthday, my dad's name. I'm the only one that would know that. Stacking it
in one page, people. All of this in one single page. All of this information.
Okay. Yeah,
There's no reason for that.
No,
just say this now. Remember now that there are other people, these brothers and this woman, who are claiming to be the writers of this script. Why are they connecting to someone called Tom Althouse and putting his information in a folder and putting it in the thing? Why? Right?
Right. And there's no way to change it. They can't alter it. They can't take it away. Every DVD, VHS has it on it. They can't.
So what do we take from this? This shot that he's speaking about and the connections that he claims that are there in his own personal life seems solid, right? It seems solid. You have to keep in mind he fooled me for 2.5 years. I'm lost with trying to understand why would he be pushing away people that are helping him for free? It's because he doesn't want to get to the bottom of this.
And take it now, and that's why Warner Brothers punished them.
Yeah.
Made them turn into women.
Please.
So look at this. Yeah. So if you look at it now, I'm glad you brought all that up. I'm going to point out the colors first. Orange. Orange is my birthday, as it was in records in 1999. My records were altered. July 2nd became July 22nd.
What?
Now watch this. Yes, they altered my records and erased my social security number.
Oh.
When they-
So there you go. It's not even his birthday. And this was something we were talking about on the last show. Like, he changed his birthday. It's now July 2nd, right? Or it's always has been, and for some reason they had the wrong birthday, and that's why they used it in here. That's what he's claiming here.
My records were altered. July 2nd became July 22nd.
What?
Now watch this. Yes, they altered my records and erased my social security number.
Oh.
When they got to work. Yes. Also, the name of Neo is self-explanatory. Thomas A. In light blue, Thomas A. And Anderson. Why Anderson? Because when I was at the religious rite, a pastor stepped forward to his congregation and confessed to having sex in the sex ring of Pat Robertson. Yes, Pat Robertson's homosexual sex ring and pedophile ring. It operates with Disney. And he confessed to his congregation about having sex with Robertson himself and also his president of his school. He put his own sex partner in charge of the school. Even though he's married to Dee Dee, he never showed her. He was into men. So what happens is David Anderson stepped forward to Kempsville Presbyterian Church and explained to the congregation this has all happened. So when they took my work to cover it up, since I was exposed to the sex ring when I was at Robertson's organization, they melded our names together. They put our names together.
Exactly.
And so therefore you have Thomas A. Anderson. Isn't that incredible? So let me go ahead and put it. It just
Sure. You say this is just a coincidence. No.
So I'm going to put in my... Oops.
You see, I don't like saying there's coincidences, because there's not. There are no coincidences. All right? So why is this information there? Now, this could be a very big mess up on Warner Brothers' part. They could have had an internal joke going around about Tom. And again, this is giving Tom a lot of credit here. They could have known about this idea and this guy, but like, why put so much of his information in here? Unless it was just to say, here's us doing it better. We've applied your concepts into this new script, and now here we're doing our own take on it, and it's better because you're not involved. Apparently that page wasn't enough for him to win his court case. And none of the other, 190 matchups or whatever he says, whatever he claims, all of that wasn't enough. His case got dismissed. Why? Summary judgment. Why? He couldn't afford an attorney. The state of Hawaii supplied him with one who had ties to Warner Brothers. Why doesn't he go after the state of Hawaii? Many questions. Very many questions here.
It's just, and now just locked my computer. There it goes. Okay, so that's the blue. Thomas A. Anderson, blue and lavender. You have my birthday at top. The next entry is the yellow coming down. You have March 11. March 11 is the woman who I was engaged to be married to, my fiance at the pitch session, Otika Ball, niece of Senator David Bourne of the Democratic Party, senator. She was at the pitch session with me, so they made her birthday Neo's birthday. So Neo's birthday is my fiance's birthday. My name is above it. The man who confessed about the sex ring that brought me down at Robertson's organization is the last name of mine, Thomas A. Anderson. My birthday's above. Under that, you have in red my dad's name. So Neo's dad is my dad's name, John A. Under that, you have a green entry, or blue is my marital status, single. Then you have in green my high school, Central West High is Neo's school. So my high school is Neo's school. Under that, you have Owen Patterson High, because the production manager, the joke in this, they put in the Owen Patterson, who's the production manager, as having his own high school. Michelle McGahee is listed as Neo's mom in brown there. Michelle McGahee is the art director. So they put a joke with the art director and the production.
You know, I'm just going to say this is a small world. And I'm not saying it's coincidence that this information's here. But, like, if they're putting Easter eggs to the crew... You see, you can't even read this shit. He needs to send this to the hosts for them to display it in full. Although we have our own screenshots here because we had to really... It was like pulling fingernails out trying to get shit from him. Alright.
production manager who was responsible for this graphic being made in there as Neo's mom and other school, respectively. So you have my name, my birthday, my fiance's birthday, the city that I chose for the character to live in, capital city, Washington, D.C.
You would think, here's something. From a completely objective point of view, you're writing the Matrix script. You're the Wachowskis, right? The Wachowski brothers. You have this character who's supposed to be living in this world that he's not supposed to be aware that it's fake. They give him a generic name, John Anderson. They give him a generic high school, Central West High, whatever. They have him, born in D.C.? Oh, and the expiration date on the ID, driver's license, passport, whatever that was shown here with Neo's photo. Expiration date's 9/11/2001. So I believe there's a lot more going on here than whatever Tom's talking about. Like what I said about the Masonic 11s and that being an initiation. Like Nolan has the 11s everywhere in his movies. You're telling me he's not a Freemason? The position he's in, where he's allowed to use film, top tier everything. All right, let's finish this up.
Respectively. So you have my name, my birthday, my fiance's birthday, the city that I chose for the character to live in, capital city, Washington, D.C. You have Michelle McGahee as the mom. You have my dad's name as Neo's dad. You have my marital status. You have my high school as Neo's
capital city, Washington, D.C. So that's where they live. All right.
School. You have my aptitudes listed in yellow underneath. And you also have in the column TA 4099. Tom Althouse TA was 40 and 99. His name. Also, you have big numbers 380. 380.
Tom Althouse was 40 and 99. So he is 66. That's how old Tom is. He's 66.
380 is numerology, and it goes back to what you talked about. 380, they said they were into numerology. They had somebody look this up, apparently. So 380 means to take, as I understand, take your most cherished worldly possessions to help you prepare for your death. We're going to take it and take care of your cherished worldly possessions so you can have peace in your death. It's a joke. It's a nasty, horrible, evil joke, which reflects how evil they are.
Yes.
See that? So that's what they did. Now here, I want to show you something.
Hey, Tom, you're 66. Shouldn't you be eligible for Social Security payout? Or is the government withholding that too from you? They'll give you food stamps, but they won't give you Social Security? Is that the case? I'm pretty sure 66 is when Social Security can pay out, right? No, he'd rather do a GoFundMe and ask for $3,750 a month. For what? Nobody knows. But I'm saying he's for him to pay his monthly rents and his bills. He's doing a GoFundMe, the Feel Sorry For Me fundraiser. And he's not using it to build a case. Because he hasn't, the entire time that I've been aware of this dude. He hasn't taken one step toward making a new case. He's just going around to all of these different hosts and bitching about his life.
Amazing. Here is Kempsville Presbyterian Church from the resume of David Geyertson, who was the top public relations man for Pat Robertson, the televangelist, who went in place at Kempsville Presbyterian Church after the pastor stepped forward. The PR man, public relations man, became in charge of the church to shut down the story and that what the pastor had confessed. And in the very entry on his resume, it says this. Let me read it to you.
All right, why the fuck are we talking about this now, Tom? What the fuck?
380 means to take, as I understand, take your most cherished worldly possessions to help you prepare for your death. We're going to take it.
All right, hold on a minute. I got to get more music queued up here. We're almost done with this clip for today. It's not a clip, but you know.
Take care of your cherished worldly possessions so you can have peace in your death. It's a joke. It's a nasty, horrible, evil joke, which reflects how evil they are.
Yes.
See that? So that's what they did. Now here, I want to show you something amazing. Here is Kempsville Presbyterian Church from the resume of David Gyertson, who was the top public relations man for Pat Robertson, the televangelist, who went in place at Kempsville Presbyterian Church after the pastor stepped forward. The PR man, public relations man, became in charge of the church.
I don't understand why he's even talking about.
Goes back to what you talked about. 380, they said they were into numerology. They had somebody look this up apparently. So 380 means to take, as I understand, take your most cherished worldly possessions to help you prepare for your death. We're going to take it and take care of your cherished worldly possessions so you can have peace in your death. It's a joke. It's a nasty, horrible, evil, which reflects how evil they are.
Yes.
See that? So that's what they did. Now here I want to show you something amazing. Here is Kempsville Presbyterian Church.
So he completely changed the topic here. Oh, and here's this.
From the resume of David Gyertson, who was the top public relations man for Pat Robertson, the televangelist, who went in place at Kempsville Presbyterian Church after the pastor stepped forward. The PR man, public relations man, became in charge of the church to shut down the story and that what the pastor had confessed. And in the very entry on his resume, it says this. Let me read it to you. It says, served as an interim senior minister for a 2,000-member PCUSA congregation while they searched for a new pastor. It took a year. Supervised a staff of about 20 full-time employees and ministers and managed a budget of about $1.5 million. They got money in Robertson's organization. Here's the big sentence. Stabilized the congregation after the loss of the previous pastor due to a moral failure.
I'll say.
Confessed the sex ring with Pat Robertson. Provided direction for the development of a new strategic plan. When in church do you need a new strategic plan? Strategy against what? And assisted with the transition to a new senior minister. Isn't that amazing? There's what brings down the house on the cabal. It's the crack in their world. And here is a graphic that shows. That's my high school diploma on the side. You'll see Otika Ball, the girl I was engaged to. It's very small. Owen Patterson's on there. The credits show Michelle McGahee. I can send this to you later, but it has all that on there. Also, one last thing. Here's what's in the Animatrix. See the clock?
Yeah.
So in the Animatrix, the reason they did Animatrix, at the end of the Matrix in 2 and 3, the installments shot in 2 and 3, in 2003, they also shot the Animatrix. The Animatrix was to use up everything that they didn't get to use off the visual storyboard that they used to lift the work off the Immortals. So any of the things they didn't get to use, they put into shorts using their favorite Japanese directors. And this fills the screen. 7.
So they used his 7/22 fake birthday for the first Matrix. By the Animatrix, they're using 7/2.
2:59 in black, one before the 60s. 7/2:59 is my exact birthday. 4 past the 4 in red is my age, 44 in 2003. A red 4 means that there will be an assassination attempt. It's a clue, take this man out, or woman. Also an anime in 2000. 7/2:59 in black, one before the 60s. 7/2:59 is my exact birthday. 4 past the 4 in red is my age, 44 in 2003. A red 4 means that there will be an assassination.
Assassination. $44 in 2003. And they put all this in here and you didn't realize it until years later, dude? Come on.
Attempt. It's a clue, take this man out, or woman. Also in Animatrix, you have this filling the screen in 2003. A red 4 means that there will be an assassination attempt. It's a clue, take this man out, or woman. Also in Animatrix, you have this filling the screen. It's my name across the screen in a graphic. Tom Park Althouse. They put Mopar in the middle. The antique shop is turned into an antique house to make the joke, and the clocks are all set with my birthday. It's an antique shop with clocks. They all have my birthday. Anyway, isn't that something? So later I can show you all the matchups if you want to go into that. I'm running out of time, but
is he saying all the clocks
also in Animatrix, you have this filling the screen. It's my name across the screen in a graphic. Tom Park Althouse. They put Mopar in the middle. The antique shop is turned into an antique house to make the joke, and the clocks are all set with my birthday. It's an antique shop with clocks.
He's saying all the clocks are on his birthday and that... What a lie. All the clocks? Are you fucking serious?
They all have my birthday. Anyway, isn't that something? House to make the joke, and the clocks are all set with my birthday. It's an antique shop with clocks. They all have my birthday. Anyway, isn't that something? So later I can show you all the matchups if you want to go into that. I'm running out of time, but...
Running out of time, yeah.
But I'm going to talk about this too later. I'll talk about the boys if you'd like, because I want to honor memory. And why this character Bane is so important in the screenplay. That's what Tika Ball, the girl I was engaged to be married to, that was at the pit session, who they used Neo's birthday, for Neo's birthday. And, which is pretty amazing. And
so he was engaged at least 3 different times, married twice. That's my understanding.
So that's something really wild about it all, too, is that Neo has 2 birthdays. They give Neo 2 birthdays. 1, my fiance's at the time, and 2, mine, right here. On his passport, it says September 13th is his birthday. On the listing I just showed you, the interrogation scene rap sheet, which is flashed just before this is shown, his birthday is March 11th, my fiance's birthday. They gave him 2 birthdays to do the joke, and also 2 names. You don't double name a character in a screenplay. You name Nico and Thomas A. So I want to leave it with you that right now is that they did so much to push what you talked about. His birthday is March 11th, my fiance's birthday. They gave him 2 birthdays to do the joke, and also 2 names. You don't double name a character in the
People
screenplay.
don't know.
Neo and Thomas A.
Yeah.
So I want to leave it with you that right now is that they did so much to push what you talked about, and no one was ever supposed to know. We all know now, and now we're coming back at them. We will give this glory back to God. We knew it was being in His timing, and that He would have it happen. It's happening right now. Elon Musk's fall. There was resignations happening all over Warner Brothers and in the agencies. And also, just one more thing for you: the agents broke into my home when I was in.
This is really interesting. While you pick that out, I'm gonna say it because we talked about CIA before and the FBI, and make no mistakes, people. These organizations are in the same cabal. They're in the same.
So at the same time, they're so clever with putting all of these little drops in there. Throughout all that cleverness, they somehow mistaked Neo's birthday. They put it 2 different dates in there. That's what he's saying here. And these screenshots are so small, we can't even look at them.
And they're working together, all of them. There's no us against them in that criteria. They're all in on this. There are good people there too, like there's good people everywhere. Of course there are. But the main organization is built not to help us, but to destroy us and to work for the UN agenda and to lower the population and all of these things. And they're all in on it. So when there are whistleblowers coming out of there, they are walking a really, really thin line, just like you have been with your life. Because you're in the middle of it, and I'm just standing on the outside looking in. But I can feel like if for anyone who has ever run a race, it feels like when you can spot the finish line ahead, right? You can smell the victory. You can feel like, okay, we're almost there. And it feels like that, right? It feels like we're almost there.
Exact image I have in my heart and head is that is that I used to be a runner. That's exactly what I'm looking at and seeing and feeling and experiencing.
And that's why all this information is coming about. This is why the whistleblowers are coming, and like he's going to show you now, they're breaking into your home, not to steal from you, but to give something back to you, to place evidence back in your position. This is unbelievable. Please show us what they did.
Yes, they're now calling it a breakback. When you enter your home and restore the information you need, it's called a breakback now. And so that's how you know there's a term for it. So that's being coined now. And what's interesting is the agents in my screenplay, actually in the end, the architect purges them like they did in the Matrix. He purges them. But in mine, they joined the underground. They joined the good side. They helped Neo. And that's exactly what's going on now. These original drafts that were taken by Warner Bros. Attorneys.
That's 1993.
Yeah, it's being restored to my house. These were all stolen by Warner Bros. Attorneys with a planet attorney that was their classmate with a suspended license. All these are now being restored. This one, here's another one was taken directly in 2012 from my dining room table when this.
Okay, hold up a minute. This shit happened back in April, and all he's been doing is showing what was left in his house. So May, June, July, August, September. 5 months have gone by. All he's done is shown these scripts like this. Oh, I hold them up. But did I hear him right?
Well, that's 1993.
Yeah, it's being restored to my house. These were all stolen by Warner Bros. Attorneys with a planet attorney that was their classmate with a suspended license. All these are now being restored. This one, here's another.
All of them are being restored. They're now being restored. Let's look at him peek out behind.
These were all stolen by Warner Bros. Attorneys with a planet attorney that was their classmate with a suspended license. All these are now being restored. This one, here's another one was taken directly it was taken in 2012 from my dining room table when this planet attorney was there named Tony Rankett. He took it, ripped it from our place when he said he had to take a call from Warner Brothers. And so here's this original draft restored also, which proved. Here's another one, the original one sent to my friend Greg Mazer from the Hallmark Channel with the included notes that he sent. Back the 99 complete 93 script and his testimony. So that was restored in the stack on my bed in my bedroom, and also the full script that was ripped from my poor man's patent in 1990.
Restored in a stack on my bed in my bedroom.
Here's another one, the original one sent to my friend Greg Mazer from the Hallmark Channel with the included notes that he sent. Back the 99 complete 93 script and his testimony. So that was restored in the stack on my bed in my bedroom, and also the full script that was ripped from my poor man's patent, the 1993 version, is restored. Restored. All these restored, and from what I understand from the
full script from the so I thought the poor man's patent one is the one where they ripped off the front cover, or is that second one? Was it that one?
And Warner Brothers. And so here's this original draft restored also, which proved. Here's another one, the Tony Rankett. He took it, ripped it from our place when he said he had to take a call from Warner Brothers. And so here's this original draft restored also, which proved. Here's another one.
So there's more than just the poor man's patent. I thought he was saying the poor man's patent's the one that the attorney took.
The original one sent to my friend Greg Mazer from the Hallmark Channel with the included notes that he sent. Back the 99 complete 93 script and his testimony. So that was restored in the stack on my bed in my bedroom, and also the full script that was ripped from my poor man's patent, the 1993 version, is restored.
Three scripts all at the same time, all different years, all show up at the same time again. Wow.
Yeah.
Restored. All these restored, and from what I understand from Michael Jaco, who was in the CIA and also Navy SEALs, there are.
He made friends with ex-CIA. And he's happy about it. At the same time, he's saying that the CIA is the one that's fucking around with him, too.
version is restored.
Yeah.
Restored. All these restored. And from what I understand from Michael Jaco, who was in the CIA and also Navy SEALs, there are, as you said, good people in the agencies, but they cannot risk their families and their careers until they're sure they have the winning ticket, until they're sure they have the people with heart and resolve to see it through. They're not going to throw their families away. And when they have that, they will move forward, and they just did. They saw it.
So amazing.
I will leave you with that.
Yeah, so we're running out of time. I knew it. There was so much to talk about, and we still haven't covered everything. If you want to come back later,
We'd love to come back later and cover the matchups and things like that, and anything you want to ask, even audience questions. So yeah,
because we're on the finish line, so it will be interesting if
What a crock of shit.
If people want to know what happens and how this is going to explode somehow, I know it. But can you just maybe leave us with one final thing? Because I was just thinking, this has been a long time, 1993. This is a long fight, and it has cost you so much. Most people who are awake don't have a problem with, like Aaron Rosso, as soon as he went out and told everybody he had a heart attack, and most of us don't fear that because it's our life and we belong to God, it doesn't matter. But the price that you have paid, it's so much heavier, and I can't even imagine. How are you still fighting? Why are you still fighting? And why don't you say just take it?
First of all, in honor of the memory of my loved ones that were killed, I'm going to lift their memory. What the other side doesn't understand, that compassion is much stronger than the desire for power, which is what they embrace. I tried to explain.
In honor and memory of his loved ones, that he doesn't mention for the first 40 minutes of any interview. Because we've done this a few times where we started watch along, and it's like, let's see how long it takes him to mention his 2 dead sons. Oh, it usually comes towards the end of the video. So he doesn't even start off any of these interviews with saying, before we start, I must say, I'm doing this all in the honor of my 2 dead sons. That's all he has to say. If he was being truthful.
That to them.
That's so true. Yeah.
So what happens is if you have compassion, there's no way you're going to take your life. It keeps you going, because if you take your life, you can't give anymore. You can't help anymore. You can't be there for people anymore. So you don't take your life. They fail in that aspect. Also, you're going to honor the memory of your loved ones. If you're a father or mother who has their loved ones killed, you're going to live on in their memory and lift their memory and hold their memory dear to your heart. You're not going to disappear. You're not going to disappear. And it's not going to be this. It's going to be this. Elon got it wrong. He doesn't have that heart. The other idea was that God told me, what got given to me was that I would have the cup of Christ, which meant I had to have the sufferings. I'm not Christ, but I had to experience the sufferings that came to what he suffered. Alienation, betrayal, loss, and that cup would not be taken from me.
Thank God he clarified that he's not Christ, right?
But the thing is, by having that cup, I have now been able to defeat, along with others like yourself, bring everything to light, which brought them down. Disney's attorney said, speaking is what brought them down, what caused to win the chess game. The sufferings were important because that's what kept me alive. They wanted to see me suffer on Earth, these studio heads and agents at the time that were bad. They wanted to see me suffer on Earth a living hell. Because of that, I'm still alive. And so they made a huge mistake. And I was able to endure and come to the finish line now, as you said. See the finish line. I feel strong. I'm going to finish strong. I'll not give up. I lift the loved ones of memory.
But he trips himself at the finish line. He never makes it across the finish line. There's people that lift him up and try to carry him over the finish line, and he fights them off.
Every child is worth it. Every elderly person is worth it. All of us are worth it. It's the only way we'll evolve, is as children of God, imagining that we cannot do without any of us, that we have to have all of us to cross the finish line. Thank you.
It's so great. Oh, this is so much information to take on. I hope everyone got something from this. Please rewatch it and share it with your friends. Share it with someone who is awake, someone who needs to be awake, someone who is standing on the wall, not knowing which side to stand on. We need everyone to stand up, to stand on the wall and take their, like the sword in one hand and the trumpet in the other one. We all have to stand up and speak what is right and share each other's stories, of these stories that are important. Thank you so much, Tom, for coming on, and I hope I will speak to you again, and God bless you.
God bless you, and I look forward to next time we can go over the match, things like that, and also we can field some questions. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much. God bless. Bye.
And that's that. So what did we learn today? I have 2 more videos. I don't think we're going to watch them, though. I'll save them for next week. Yeah, both are about an hour. Sandy says, Smiths of this world are possessed. My hope is that they don't create any more problems. Yeah, I agree, Sandy. Andreas says, well, that he will never show a clear shot of the Immortals script of his. Yeah, he's never going to show it. So there's 2 other videos that I had. I mean, there's a lot to go over still here. So this series is not going to end anytime soon. But I do want to get into older interviews of Tom's, cross-reference them. Let's see here. Yeah, I showed everything else I wanted to today. Andreas says, or let others break it down and let others make their opinion on it. Yeah, he was about to release it to the public. Like around the time that I contacted him, he was ready to release it all. And for some reason, he backtracked. Andreas says he has to control the narrative. Yes. In fact, I think that is why he doesn't show it. Because that allows him to control the narrative. So I hope that was entertaining for all of you today. Trying to get to the bottom of all this. But, I think we'll uncover new things doing this. Otherwise, like, I wouldn't even be spending time on any of this if I didn't think it was worthwhile. But Tom's going to keep going on new shows. I want to try to dig into the older stuff to see how much has changed. Stuff that he's negating now from new interviews. I mean, I got stuff going back to 2020. Maybe 2018. I just haven't had the time to look through it all. I'll leave everyone with the message that Tom sent me 2 weeks ago. All right. Andreas says it was interesting, that's for sure. Sandy says there are way better movies out there than Matrix. Yes, Sandy, I agree. They Live is one of my favorite films. And The Truman Show also. I feel a lot better knowing I don't have to put movies from 92 onward in the filter of Tom Althouse anymore. I'll be able to study film again as the time goes on. But he's still fooling people every day. There's new suckers every day for him. And it sucks to admit it, but I was one of those suckers, right? But I was looking for truth. He's very convincing. But someone making claims of this magnitude, for them to be lying about anything at this point, which includes the people trying to help him, the hosts, the people giving him a platform where he makes a 180 on these people that have given so much time. That's monstrous. Ask yourself, what is he doing with the 3,000? Actually, let's look at that fundraiser. I want to see what this fundraiser is. So we'll go to TomAlthouse.com. What was it at, like 200 bucks? Let's go to donate. Oh my... Oh. Do you see this? I'll try to make it as large as possible here. So he still has his monthly goal of 3,750 bucks. He's still at 236. Like he's... Yeah, you're seeing this here. Brad Wozni, the one host that helped him start this. So he has hosts paying him. Whoever this is, they're anonymous, gave 25. I wouldn't be surprised if that's Penny and that's Michael Jaco. Michael Jaco, Yako, Wacko. Campaign created by the Blinged Buddha. Who the fuck's that? And real quickly, let's see the reason for this. Save iconic creator Tom Althouse. Urgent, help keep Tom Althouse's legacy alive and help him soldier on. Oh, is he fucking dying? Tom's journey has been a battle for survival in every sense. As told on many shows, the Deep State murdered his two sons, wagging their atrocities in the opening scene of the first Matrix for all audiences to see. What? What? And have terrorized this man to no end. Hold up. So right there is another lie on this donation website. The Deep State murdered his two sons, wagging their atrocities in the opening scene of the first Matrix for all audiences to see. Is he trying to say that the Deep State put Easter eggs in the first Matrix about killing the two sons? Because the first one was like early 2000s and the second one was much later. Like in the 2010s. This is funny. The Deep State has not just targeted him. They've tried to erase every trace of what he created, including parts of the Matrix which were meant to inspire hope and fight back against tyranny. But yet there's people out there wanting to erase the interviews that I mean, come on, man. Tom wants me to take my stuff down. Ain't that something? This isn't about preserving his legacy and ensuring the world doesn't lose touch with its history. This is about... Okay. Alright, so what's the money going to be used for? Now, more than ever, Tom needs our support to keep fighting on behalf of all mankind, and this time, for the third decade of his battle against those who seek to destroy him and what he stands for. It's not just about giving money, it's a statement. Every dollar raised here can help Tom continue speaking out at every chance he gets, because his voice is more than personal. It represents our own right to freedom, knowledge, and power over our lives. How is the money going to be used? If you believe in the fight against fear-driven evil, if you think we all deserve the truth that the Matrix once promised, please donate now to help keep Tom's flame burning bright. Whether through sharing this campaign or contributing $1 or more, every bit of support counts. This is about preserving our collective memory and fighting for those who fight for us. This is all bullshit, man. So you see it here. He's had it going for over a month. He didn't hit his goal. He's not even at 10% of his goal. And he wants that monthly? Okay. What's next? Is he gonna start, saying how all the listeners are evil because they're not donating to him? Alright, let me catch up on the comments here. Andreas says, holy smokes, he's still messaging you to back off. If he didn't insult you and let you be, you probably wouldn't even been doing this. He will be his own downfall. That's correct, Andreas. Andreas also says, truth is often told in lies. That's why we get the nagging feeling something's off, so we investigate ourselves. Yeah. Andreas also says, bits and pieces, maybe of truth, but enough to get our attention. Yeah, and that's why I said there's truth in everything. So among all of this with Tom, there's some truth in it. But it's not this big project that he's claiming it to be. I'm sorry. Like, have you ever watched credits for a movie? Have you watched credits like in the last 10 years? You see how many fucking people work on these films now? You'd think like one of the crew members would come forward from The Matrix and support Tom's claims here. None of them want to step forward. Why? Probably because it's not true. You'd have 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 20 crew members. Easy. Yeah. Yeah, I saw Tom's script on set. We don't get any of that. Jason H. says, I'm trying to place the scene he's referring to. Was his kids the SWAT dudes? Sounds like conference travel funds. Is there a button to request a prayer for Tom? Yeah. Jason. Yes, Jason. He has prayer requests. Should I? I don't have a sign-in for Give, Send, Go, though. Didn't he say like he didn't want prayers from people? We got him on a different... So one of these Let's Talks, he's on a show that we're watching, and he says, I don't want prayer from those people. Those people that say, oh, we'll pray for you. I don't even feel like abusing this. I don't want to abuse it. I'll just be spiteful with it, right? We can pray for Tom, but he doesn't want to know about it, right? Let's pray that he finds peace. Heavenly Father, Creator, please bless Tom Althouse with peace, tranquility, rid himself of cognitive dissonance, expose his lies, make him humble, have him come forward with only the truth, and may he reap what he sowed. In Jesus Christ's name. Yeah, I'm going to eventually make a short of that, Andres. He said he didn't want prayers from people saying that they're praying for him. Because he felt like it was in the negative or some shit. Like, imagine someone telling you, oh, I'm praying for you. And he's like, no, I don't want your prayers. That's demonic. He has attachments. That's for sure. I don't know, do you guys think it's getting close to time that I call John B. Wells on Open Lines Friday? Share my story. Tell him what a con job that Tom Althouse is. Tell John B. Wells, I'm the one that gave Tom your number, Tom, or John. I helped him reach out to you. He's dropped me. Whatever. Right? So anyways. Nearly 11 months have gone by since the last message I got from Tom, which I think was an email. Which I replied, and I never got a response back. I was telling him he was blowing it all out of proportion. No reply, no response. I waited from October of last year to April of this year. No response. So I started this Let's Talk About It series. We're 16 episodes in now. And 2 weeks ago, Tom decides to send this to me on Facebook Messenger. Now, as you can see on the bottom, he can't see that I looked at that. And if I hit accept, then he'll know my activity. It'll show my little profile picture down on the bottom. But as of right now, it's like he just sent this into the void, probably expecting me to reply. But you know, this is his official effort in trying to contact me again. It's just hurling insults. It's what he's good at. He's good at that. He's good at mocking other people and hiding behind Christ. You see, there's people out there that use religion and faith as a mask. And he talks about doing this for the children. What children has he helped? He's not putting his words into action. Okay. That's going to be it for today. I thank you all for being here. I'm going to have the re-upload of this week's Coral Castle on Tuesday in the early afternoon. And then at 6 p.m. Central Time on Tuesday will be the next installment of the Coral Castle Deep Dive series. We also have Thursday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time for Bermuda Triangle Deep Dive series. I have members only content that I need to get posted. And we also have this show for next week as well. And I do want to start getting into the older interviews of Tom while we do this investigative work here. Yeah. You know, we'll end today with a Bible verse. John 3:16. King James Version is translated to, "For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life." And real quickly, I'm going to say a prayer here. Heavenly Father, Creator, thank you for the many blessings you have given us. For my audience here watching now and later, those present in this space, please watch over them. Please make sure family is in good health. Any strife or trauma, please help everyone work through that. Please let them know to reach out to others if they need help. That we are not alone here. And with our faith in you, Jesus Christ, we shall have everlasting life. And let us enjoy this journey while we're here. And seek the truth we're meant to find. And create in your image for the betterment of everyone. In Jesus Christ's name. Thank you, Andreas. Thank you, Sandy. Classy Cat, thank you for being here. So next Tuesday will be or this upcoming Tuesday in 2 days will be my next show. So please try to catch me. But until the next one, class dismissed.